planted them seeds a few weeks ago. But yesterday on Raw, we actually saw Grayson Waller attacking AJ Styles. So that's really kind of helped build tonight. They are actually, I mean, they've done that for the past couple of weeks where they've had like Grayson Waller in the crowd. That was a couple of weeks ago. Then they had Grayson Waller attacking AJ Styles on last night's show. So they are finding a way with this angle to maybe explore ways of linking NXT 2.0 with Raw and maybe just giving NXT 2.0 a little bit of a boost. I don't know, maybe if like USA Network, I'm just guessing, just speaking out loud, but I'm wondering if they're maybe a little bit off with some of the ratings at the moment, or just wanting a little boost, or just wanting to see WWE do a little more to promote NXT. Because obviously, you know, it's gone through a lot of change. I think the ratings have kind of held okay. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if USA Network are like, you know, what are you going to do to help just push it up a little bit? What are you going to do to just boost it a little bit? And so now we are seeing, you know, AJ Styles getting involved, little link between NXT and Raw. And be interesting to see if they do get any extra viewers tonight. I'm not sure they will, to be honest. I don't know that this is like a red-hot feud or anything like that. I don't know that it's really captured people's imaginations. But it'd be interesting to see. It's kind of making me think. I haven't actually seen NXT's ratings for the past couple of weeks, so I'm just going to jump over to Brian Alvarez's Twitter, and we'll see what the ratings are. Battle of the Belts on Saturday got 704,000, so that's interesting. 704 on a Saturday. So 704,000. It was only an hour, so there wouldn't be like too much of a drop off. So that's kind of interesting. 704. NXT. Where's the NXT rating? NXT. Where is the NXT rating? I don't think he's put one in for a couple of weeks, has he? Well, he's tweeted quite a bit here. I'm just trying to see if I can find an NXT rating, because last I saw they were about 600,000, and I don't know if they've been holding at that, but I think they have. So I'm just having a look to see. Can confirm Samoa Joe was released. Yeah, William Regal. Obviously, that news breaking through. Dynamite last week got 1.01. That was Dynamite. NXT viewership up. Demo rating is steady. He didn't tweet out the actual number by the looks of it, which is really annoying. NXT 5 days ago, 685. That's quite good, isn't it, in all fairness? But actually, last week wasn't that New Year's Evil? So that might be why it had like an especially good week. So 685 is what NXT got. Then on Saturday, we saw AEW do, was it 704? So very close, actually. Very comparable between Battle of the Belts and New Year's Evil. So they're all around that kind of ballpark. But Dynamite did break 1 million. So Dynamite got 1.01. So, yeah, interesting. SmackDown did 2.3. To be honest, Rampage did 578. So Rampage continuing to struggle in that time slot. I must admit, I've kind of given up on looking at the ratings. I haven't actually looked at them in about a month. But interesting. It'll be interesting to see if tonight's show gets a little bump by being connected with Raw at all. Harley said, Dave Cena said he doesn't know if he'll be at Mania, but he's not done with WWE with a long shot, and far from it has had his last performance. Don't know who said Cena's retired, but it looks like they're wrong. United We Love said, Days, I've only ever watched the main roster, mainly first time watching NXT. Is it worth it? I think, to be honest, when it comes to NXT, it's probably worth watching at least once in a while, just so that you know who's down there, who's being pushed, who's, looking like they're going to be the next big thing, who's got a bit of momentum, what are the current gimmicks, like things like that. actually watching it week in, week out, it can be a bit hit and miss, I find. I think that, we've spoken a lot over on these NXT streams about how great it was when it was just an hour and it was on the network. Since it went to the USA network and it went to 2 hours, I do think it has been a bit hit and miss. I think they've been trying quite a few different things. I think there's been a lot of superstars that haven't quite hit the mark. Obviously, we've seen people get called up and just get released. It's been quite turbulent. And obviously, they were kind of hot shot booking as well. I think that was a great thing that NXT used to do. It used to be quite slow. Like, it used to be slow with its feuds. And, things could just play out at a nice pace. Whereas as soon as they went to the USA Network, everything was so fast. Like, you were just getting title matches all the time. And to some extent, it's still that way because they're just desperately trying to get you ratings every week, where I kind of felt when they were on the WWE Network, it didn't matter. It didn't make any difference, did it? Like, it was a show that was there for you to enjoy if you subscribed to the network. And because it was allowed to breathe, and because it had room to grow, and it wasn't just title match, number one contender, this person being attacked, that person being attacked. Like, because it just wasn't, breakneck speed, you could kind of invest in the storylines a little bit more, and they could burn a little slower, and the details were a bit better, and it was just better. So I kind of feel that it's still worth watching, definitely. It's still got some great stuff and great superstars on the show. I think, like, Bron Breakker won the championship last week. That was a big moment. That was a significant moment. Obviously, we've switched over to 2.0 a few months ago, and we're still kind of learning about this new version of NXT. We're getting loads of new faces like Von Wagner and Cora Jade and Andre Chase and Zion Quinn, and there's loads of new faces around. So is it worth watching? I would say yes. Is it worth watching every single week? You could probably just jump in and jump out, to be honest. I mean, realistically, that's where I think NXT is. You can jump in, have a look, see who's getting the spotlight, see who's doing well. If there's something that grabs you, come back the next week. If not, give it a try a month later and see if there's anything that grabs you then. I kind of feel like that's where NXT is at the moment. But, there's some decent things on the show, definitely. But, there's lots of things I think they could improve as well. In regards to what's on the show tonight, I do want to get into the chat, but I do want to just have a look and see what's on the show. Always, it's a little bit rushed on a Tuesday because we do the Wrestling Escape pod just before. So if you don't watch that, it's kind of being tweaked a little bit. So I just said that I want to hear from you lot. I want to get your video clips. I want to get your audio clips. I want you lot to get in touch, and then I'll play them on the podcast so that you can be on the podcast. You get your thoughts out there. You can actually talk on the podcast by sending in a video clip, sending in an audio clip, and we'll talk about your points, basically. So it's only an hour on a Tuesday, right before NXT. So you can join us for that and then jump over and join us here. So I'm kind of liking our Tuesdays, in all fairness. I think it works really well. It does just mean that I tend to be a minute or two late for these streams, but I do like it because, something that happens on like the weekend, if there's a pay-per-view, or something that happens at Raw, then obviously you can send your thoughts over and then we can talk about it. So I'm kind of thinking 30 seconds, a minute, something like that. Send a video clip, send an audio clip. You can send it over to wrestlingdays@gmail.com, and I'll go through what I get sent. And then the ones that I think are that we can do something with, the ones that I think, I can't guarantee we'll use all the clips that get sent. But I think if the question's good, or if the theory is good, or if there's something that I think we can do something with it and we can have a good conversation about it, then we'll use it and we'll chuck it on the show, on the Wrestling Escape pod. So I'm really thinking of really doing that and kind of encouraging that, because I love that podcast. I think it's awesome. And I really want to try and get more people joining us and really grow the community over there. So, yeah, I'm loving Tuesdays. We do that on 11 till 12, and then boom, we're over here from 12, which it is at the moment, midnight. But it does mean I'm a little bit behind on seeing what's on NXT tonight. Life Off Daz says, I hope all is good. I'm just popping in. We're doing well, buddy. Appreciate the support. Hope you're well. We're just having a look, seeing what is on NXT tonight. I can tell you we've got Zion Quinn taking on Santos Escobar. We know that Elektra Lopez is going to be at ringside. She said she's going to leave with the winner. So we know we've got that. We've got Solo Sikoa, who's going to be in action, taking on Boa tonight as well. So I don't feel like we didn't see Solo Sikoa last week. So it'd be good to see Solo Sikoa again. So, yeah, we've got Zion Quinn taking on Escobar. We've got Solo Sikoa taking on Boa. We've got Tony D'Angelo taking on Pete Dunne in a crowbar on a pole match. I'm guessing we're going to be hearing from the new champion, Bron Breakker, as well. And then, of course, AJ Styles taking on Grayson Waller. That's going to be the big one. Grayson Waller putting a little video clip up of him trash talking before the show tonight. And NXT has put a poll up. Who wins tonight? 3,800 votes. And I can tell you 87% of people think that AJ Styles wins tonight. So, interesting. David said, it was weird. I had a COVID test on Monday that was negative. Tuesday I was negative. Wednesday negative. Thursday positive. Friday, Saturday, no test. Sunday, Monday. Perhaps it was a false positive or something, dude. There's, I think, quite a few false positives doing the rounds. From what you said, I think earlier it was good because they were grooming talent. Now they're trying to get ratings. Yeah. I mean, definitely. I think before things were a bit slower and they were finding a way of letting talent kind of grow naturally and improve. Whereas now it feels like things are a lot more rushed. Sometimes that's, good. Sometimes, stories can drag a little bit and maybe things can stick around a bit too long. So, that's not always a problem. But I would say that for me, my favorite time with NXT was definitely when it was on the WWE Network. It was an hour long, and like Bayley was around, Asuka was around, maybe Charlotte, Sasha, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke just coming in, Kevin Owens around, about to go up to the main roster, like that kind of time. Probably around 2014, 2015. I can't really talk too much before then because that's basically when the UK got the network. So as soon as we got the network, boom, I was straight onto NXT. I had no way of watching it before that. So as soon as we got the WWE network, I was straight onto watching NXT, and I loved it. I've got so many great memories of watching NXT when we first got the network, like end of 2014, early 2015. And it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I think for me, I've kind of seen it go through, several changes, and sort of where we are now, it doesn't hit the same. It definitely doesn't hit the same, but it's still got some good moments. Certainly not down on like where NXT is or the potential that it's got, but nah, man, if you get a chance, if you've never seen some of that kind of 2014, 2015 NXT, jump back to that. There's some really, really great stuff in there. Some really great stuff. And a lot of superstars that you would recognize, like Baron Corbin, Elias, Nia Jax. There's a lot of people that, near enough the roster came through NXT. There's not too many that bypassed it. Omos bypassed it, and AJ bypassed it, and then of course you got Randy Orton that was around before it, same as Rey Mysterio. But anyone that kind of came through in the past few years came through NXT. Harley said PW Insider are saying that Melina and Cameron might be surprises. Melina would be really cool, but Cameron, it is just a rumor. I'm still hoping for Bayley, Asuka, and maybe Trish and Paige. Mayhem said, Days, I think the winner of the Rumble will be added to Roman Brock, making it a triple threat. David said, thanks, Days. You're good, man. Like the streams. Carry on. Yeah, just as long as you're feeling good, dudes, you know. I know it's frustrating not being able to go out and whatnot, but your health is way more important. So as long as you're, you know, looking after yourself and feeling good, then it shouldn't matter too much if you're getting positives or negatives, and I wouldn't worry about it too much. I do think there's a lot of false positives out there. I think Liverpool Football Club was saying that they had a lot of false positives that had come back, but you know what? There's nothing you can do about it. You've just got to react and you know, deal with it as if it's a positive and whatnot. There's a lot of people going through COVID strife at the moment. This new variant seems to be spreading quite quickly, doesn't it? So I hope everyone is staying safe. Bailey isn't returning at the Rumble. Edward, welcome back. Yeah, I know. I did wonder where you'd gone. I did think of you because I know you hadn't been over on the football streams and everything. So good to see you back. I'm still not expecting Bailey, says Austin. Did you see Avril Lavigne's new music video called Bite Me? It's very catchy. Nope. I didn't even know she was still making music, to be honest. People are saying that the creative team don't give people like Big E good gimmicks, hence they suck. But do you think they ignore the fact they're just giving a good gimmick doesn't mean they will perform? Well, to be honest, I mean, I think that there's pros and cons, isn't there? Because someone like Karrion Kross, for example, he had an all right gimmick in NXT. Like he would come down, and he had a big entrance, and he had Scarlett, and he was just like a killing machine. And then he went up to the main roster, and they made him a gladiator, like a kinky gladiator. And apparently he burst into laughter when he saw the costume at first. You know, I mean, you kind of look at some stuff that creative do, and you think, well, I mean, that's just stupid. It just sucks. It's not cool. It's not credible. It seems to be trying to appeal to maybe kids. Like, here's a gladiator. I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's as if they have gone into, you know, to quote, is it Bruce Pritchard who said, box of gimmicks. It's as if they've got this box and they have a little rummage around, and it's like, okay, well, we've got a gladiator costume. Would you like to give that a go? Or you could be a milkman. Do you fancy being a milkman? No? Okay. Well, one more. Let's have a little look, shall we? We've got ballerina. I think. Is that no superhero? Do you want to be? Would you like to be Karrion Kross ASH? Do you fancy that? Look, comes with a mask. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just nonsense. So yeah, sometimes there's people that you could give a gimmick to, and it's not going to work. Apollo, for example. You know, Apollo didn't have a gimmick. Sucked. Gave him that Nigerian gimmick. Sucks. So, you know, sometimes you can give someone a gimmick and it ain't going to work. I mean, in all fairness, you could also say that making him put on that fake accent is also a bit of a barrier. And also having him with Commander Aziz, who looks about as engaging as toothpaste, might also like be a bit of a barrier. So I think there's loads of factors. Sometimes it's the talent. Sometimes it's creative. Sometimes there's just a few tweaks that need to be made and they don't make them. Like, there's so many things that it could be. It's hard to go, like, that's the talent's fault. But sometimes it is. Sometimes it is the talent's fault. Sometimes it's creative's fault. Sometimes it's no one's fault, you know. Something that should work just doesn't work. So, yeah, it's hard to say. You'd probably have to go through everyone individually and go, like, this person, that person. Like, the Karrion Kross one, it's just a stupid gimmick. You know, him coming down like a kinky gladiator, he kind of looks like a cosplayer for Demolition. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, in this day and age, it's not going to get over unless you give him a good backstory, good vignettes, really invest in it. Like, if he was to somehow explain why he dressed that way, and maybe he was like part of a tribe of people that also dressed that way, or maybe there was some semblance in like why he was wearing this, and maybe he could explain what it meant, why he wore it. The fact that, you know, he wears it because he's ready for battle or whatever it might be, or it was passed down his family, or who knows, right? But if you just give us some flipping backstory, some reason to actually care, then maybe you might have stood a chance or a better chance of getting it over. So, yeah, there's loads of different ways to look at, like, wrestlers and gimmicks and why they work, why they don't work, whose fault it is. It's a tricky one. Ronnie said, do you think people AEW pick up next should be the building blocks in the right direction, like Regal, Joe, people who could turn dark into developmental? That way wrestlers can be their best self. Should AEW get Regal and Joe? Should AEW get Regal and Joe? It's, I mean, to be honest, I kind of think, like, it's not going to hurt to get them if you can accommodate them. I don't know what it's like backstage. I mean, I don't get visibility behind the scenes, so I don't know what they've got. Like the Nightmare Factory with QT Marshall, I don't know how good that is. What I would say is they've done a very good job of building their own talent. I think the systems they've got in place kind of suggests to me that they're not too bad behind the scenes. I mean, they've got Dark, they've got Elevation, so they're fully aware that they need to be bringing through talent. They've got their own kind of Nightmare Factory that can churn out talent, that can teach people. So you can take a complete noob, a complete novice, train them up in the Nightmare Factory, put them onto Dark and Elevation, and if they get, like, to the point where you could do something with them, then you can move them to Rampage and Dynamite. So there is a system in place. There must be trainers that are in place and people that can help nurture that talent. Dropping Regal and Samoa Joe into that process isn't going to hurt. So I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, to be honest. But equally, I don't think that's an area that they're necessarily struggling in. Because I look at Darby and I look at Britt and I look at Orange Cassidy and Jungle Boy, and, you know, there's quite a few, Sammy Guevara. Like, you see the talent that they've helped to nurture and develop and really get over, and I think they've done a really good job of getting a lot of their own originals over, and I think they're doing a decent job of bringing through people. I mean, it's hard to know, like, where the credit lies for Hook. Is that with AEW, or is that just solely with Taz? Has Taz just spent his whole life training Hook, and that's why Hook's so good? But, you know, he's got to be one of the most promising up-and-comers, and he's in AEW. So I do look at that. And there was that kid as well that, what was his name? Ben something, that NXT signed, and he appeared on Dark a couple of times. I think he had come out of Seth Rollins' training school, to be honest. But AEW spotted his potential and had him on Dark. And then from that, he went to NXT, snapped him up. So I kind of feel like, yes, you can absolutely drop Regal into that and it wouldn't hurt. You could drop Samoa Joe into that, it wouldn't hurt. But I think of all the things that AEW need to improve, I think developing their, like, up-and-coming talent, I don't think they're too bad at that. I think that's all right. But William Regal's going to be a great addition to any flipping wrestling promotion. I mean, even in just an ambassador role, he's just such a likable person that people really resonate with. That I was listening to Jim Cornette, and Cornette said that if AEW got Regal, they would be getting someone who has got a great relationship with the majority of the WWE roster. If ever any of those superstars want to pick up the phone to Regal and find out if, you know, AEW is an option, like, Tony Khan would have an amazing, I think he called it a skeleton key to the WWE roster. Like, William Regal's connections, he knows and he has trained a lot of that roster. He's worked with a lot of that roster. So he would be a great person just for that reason, which I thought was a very interesting point. So not only is he going to be amazing at training and teaching, but the connections he's got and the fact that, you know, if someone's a bit on the out with WWE, they might just reach out to William Regal. Ben Russell, hello. I hope you are well, buddy. I hope you are well. I hope you're excited and looking forward to NXT tonight. It should be a good show. I'm actually looking forward to it. I mean, AJ being on the show tonight, don't get that every week, do you? So really looking forward to seeing AJ in action in a one-on-one match. Thought we were going to get it last week, but it was just a face-to-face. So he is taking on Grayson Waller tonight. And we've also got Solo Sikoa, as we said, and haven't seen him in a little while. He is the He is the Uso, the third Uso. So for those that haven't been watching, he is related to Roman, and there's a lot of excitement about him potentially one day joining the bloodline. Ray UK said, did you see Mickie James, Deonna Purrazzo? It was a great match. It was a better match than any women's match WWE has put on in a year. I don't watch Impact, so I can't comment. To be honest, I would be surprised if it was better than Becky Charlotte, because Becky Charlotte I was about 4.5 out of 5 on. Maybe even 4.75. I mean, I've really... maybe 4.5. I really liked it. So, I mean, Mickie James would have to be like near enough a 5-star match in order to be beating Becky and Charlotte, because that match at Survivor Series I thought was brilliant. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I mean, really helped by the fact that they obviously had that seemingly real life heat backstage. That was absolutely one of my matches of the year. So I love women's wrestling. I've no doubt whatsoever that Mickie James, Deonna Purrazzo match was fantastic. I've no doubt whatsoever because I really like Mickie James. And actually, I really like Deonna Purrazzo. I was really disappointed when they let her go from WWE. I thought that she had great potential. She's got a great look. And I thought she had great potential, but seemingly they just didn't have a spot on the card for her, which I think is really disappointing. It's really disappointing. And what with, Steph making noises about how they one day want to get the rosters 50-50. They want 50% men, 50% women, and they can't find a spot for Deonna Purrazzo. And they can't find a spot for Ruby Riott. And they can't find a spot for Ember Moon. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really make much sense, to be honest. It's kind of, I think Steph's saying one thing, and I think Vince is doing another, which is typical WWE, isn't it, really? Johnny said, Days, I won't be on NXT live streams no more. Black and Gold is dead. Anyone that watches 2.0 is a traitor to Black and Gold. Listen, it's all the flipping same. It's all the flipping same. Make no mistake about it. 2.0, Black and Gold, it's all NXT. It's all just a continuation of the same brand. It's not as if there's like a new promotion that's took over NXT. I understand that Triple H has kind of been removed, and a lot of his people have been removed, but it's still NXT. Even Triple H would be absolutely fine and would encourage you to still continue to support the stars of NXT. So it's all the same. Days, what I've noticed is people who don't like Brock have gone from he doesn't show up every week to he doesn't wrestle every week. Talk about agendas. There's just some people that don't like Brock, and that's fine. I mean, I can understand why people would have an issue because, there's a lot of people out there that don't appreciate Brock, don't like him because, he has short matches, gets paid a lot of money, he doesn't work all the house shows, and then some of their favorites that they like, that do like more matches and whatnot, they end up just getting squashed. Like Kofi got squashed by Brock, and Big E obviously lost the championship to Brock, and he just turns up and wins championships. My take on it has always been that Brock is the most legit superstar they've got. Like, if this was a real sport where it wasn't scripted and we just let them actually wrestle, it would be very, very interesting to see who the champion would be for the women in NXT, on Raw, on SmackDown. It'd be very, very interesting because there might be a few surprises. But I think the one thing that we could agree is that Brock Lesnar would be there or thereabouts. Like, Brock Lesnar would be probably the top guy on whatever promotion he was on. I genuinely think him and Bobby is a very interesting fight because Bobby has done a lot of MMA as well. Never got to the same level that Brock did, but Bobby has got an MMA background. And yeah, I kind of think that that would be very interesting if them two had a legit fight. But this is why I don't mind Brock. Doesn't make any difference to me, Brock being champion, because I think that if this was, again, a real sport, which is how I like to view it, that's how I enjoy watching professional wrestling, as if it was a legit sport, then I think Brock Lesnar would be at the top of the tree. Days, are you disappointed in WWE fans for holding a grudge on Goldberg because of Bret Hart's injury? Why aren't fans excited about a legend getting title shots in this generation? Is Goldberg too old? Yeah, I think, I don't know that people hold a grudge because of the injury to Bret Hart. Certainly some do. But I must admit, that's not why I've had an issue with him. I didn't mind him when he came back and he had his little feud with Brock. I think it was like 2016. I thought that was quite exciting. But the problem is he just keeps coming back. He just keeps coming back and he keeps getting title opportunities. So he'll come back, he'll have a title shot, he'll lose, and then he'll come back and he'll get another title shot. And then he'll lose, and then he'll come back and he'll have another title shot, and then he might win one and go on a little run, but then, it won't be for very long, and then he's gone again. And then with this recent one, Bobby was in the ring and Bobby got attacked from behind and Bobby dealt with it, and it turned out to be Goldberg's son. Well, I mean, I think a lot of us looked at that and we were like, yeah, well, don't go in the ring. I mean, I know that he's young, but don't go in the ring. Bobby was like, look, if I knew it was your son, I wouldn't have attacked him. But, it was only a few weeks later that a fan attacked Seth, and, we were all, laying into the fan for being stupid enough to attack a wrestler. And then, at SummerSlam, WWE run a story. Granted, it was before, but, even so, they ran a story where someone got into the ring, but this time we're meant to have sympathy for him. So, do you know what I mean? Someone gets into the ring and attacks Bobby, we're meant to have sympathy. Someone attacks Seth, we're meant to think they're a douche. Do you know what I mean? And for me, I look at that and I go, well, no, I'm actually with Bobby on this. I'm actually with Bobby. I kind of think, if someone attacks you from behind, I could understand him grabbing that person and dealing with it without, realizing that it was Goldberg's son. So for me, his match with Bobby was fine at SummerSlam. I didn't have an issue with it. But then, him going off on Bobby, saying he didn't believe him about all this and everything, setting up the rematch, I just found myself naturally being on Bobby's side. So that's just an example, but there's lots of little things like that for me. The fact that he keeps getting title opportunities without necessarily earning them. Who was the one that he came back to and he said, I'm next? He literally just came back on the show, walked up to the champion and went, I'm next. And that was how he got a title opportunity. I think, was it Drew? I think he went up to Drew and just literally said, I'm next. I think, because, again, with Drew, I think, was paying respect to the legends because there was a load of legends on stage. And Goldberg came down and said, I saw how you were looking at the legends. You think these are not as good as you or something. And there'd been nothing that Drew had said to suggest that. Goldberg just came off as this crazy old man. And he was like, oh, you don't think we're as good? Well, guess what? I'm next. And so he then, challenged for the title. First of all, didn't earn that opportunity. Second of all, I don't think Drew was looking at the legends that way. Third of all, Goldberg just came across like a crazy old man that shouts at pigeons down the park. He just really came across as a bit strange. And it's just, there's been loads of stuff like that for me. And that's why I've been a bit oh God, not Goldberg again. Do you know what I mean? Not crazy old man Goldberg. So that has bothered me more than him ending Bret Hart's career. I mean, look, that's just an accident. That's just that's never bothered me, to be honest. That's never been a factor. I think at this stage he is too old. I mean, I kind of think he's done as well. I think he does. People love chanting like Goldberg though, and I think that probably gives the impression people love him or something. Like the crowd do love going Goldberg, Goldberg. God damn, they love him. Like I should imagine Vince like maybe looks at that and is like, wow, what a reaction. And he just keeps coming back. So what you need to do is stop flipping doing that. Just sit there in silence. Yeah. And then they might get the idea that, okay, I think they're over this now. I think we can stop with the Goldberg thing now. But it was never anything to do with the Bret Hart thing for me. Days, it was Ben Carter that was AEW. Yes, you're right. Well done, Ray UK. LSW said Goldberg came across as the dude who yells, "Get off my lawn." That's exactly how he came across, yeah. It's just loads of little moments like that. Like, I did enjoy him beating Brock, like, in 20-odd seconds or whatever. That was had a big fight feel, him against Brock. Because obviously they had, the match at WrestleMania 20, and then they do it in 2016. Just expecting it to be a legend, really, for Brock to just destroy. And then 20-odd seconds later, it was a jackhammer and a spear. 1, 2, 3, and Goldberg wins. And it's like, oh my God. And it was like a proper, I think my reaction's on the channel to that because, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was an amazing, amazing moment. So I did like that. But even that's nearly, what 6 years ago, I think now. 6 years this year, that was. So, and then since then, like, there hasn't been anything. And then, don't forget, he beat The Fiend. He beat The Fiend, and that upset a load of people. So, Goldberg beating The Fiend, I'd say that was a big one. So, not only have you got all these little getting title shots without really earning them, coming across like a crazy man, shouting, "Get off my lawn," as LSW said. Not only is there all those little things, but I think him beating The Fiend upset all of The Fiend fans. And, I mean, no one likes to see... I think The Fiend had finally achieved something that Bray never really achieved. He did get that WWE title, but he didn't hold it very long. He won it at, like, Elimination Chamber and then lost it at Mania. So he didn't hold it very long. So The Fiend was meant to right those wrongs. Finally gets the title and then loses it to 78-year-old Goldberg. So yeah, there was a lot of things that was going wrong, I think. Colby versus Jorge is set for UFC 272. What do you think? I think this was anyone bar Jorge. Colby would go for a safe decision win wrestling, but with it being Jorge, I think it'll be a war. I must admit, I mean, that's great. Colby against Jorge will be a great fight, but I never really allow myself to get too carried away until it's the day of the fight. There's so many that get cancelled. We saw, did someone tell me that Volkanovski Holloway is off now? Can't remember. There's definitely a big fight. Yeah, I think it's Volkanovski Holloway. Might have been cancelled now. Like, there's been so many fights that have been called off by the time we've got to them. I just don't even look. I've said before, I don't even look. I don't look to see what's been booked. And if I did, it would just be like, my reaction is now like, okay, cool, that sounds good. But I don't really allow myself to, like, get too lost in it and start thinking about how the fight's going to go and, really getting stuck into, like, theories and whatever, because there's just so many times these fights fall through. And, I just feel like I'd be wasting my time, basically. So, great fight. I mean, I'll agree with what you said. I think Colby's going to want to show that he can outstrike Jorge. I think Jorge will want to do the same, of course. I mean, and that should be a war, should be an epic battle. I really, really hope it does come off because it's a great little fight, that. Goldberg dominating Brock was extremely shocking because of how dominant Brock was. So seeing Brock get beaten that quick was surprising. Cody Garbrandt is going to get sparked by Sugar Sean. UFC's back this weekend. Really looking forward to that. It's been a little while without UFC, so I know this is an NXT stream. I'm, happy to go wherever the conversation goes. But, really, really excited for UFC this weekend. Really looking forward to that returning. Usman is live on Insta, says Minty. Ray UK said, Days, William Regal's son, Charlie Dempsey, is in NXT UK. Yeah, I've seen him wrestle once, and he looked really good. Really, really good. I was very impressed. So I think he is going to be someone. He's not like Hook. Hook just kind of really lays it in and has like relatively short matches. The match I saw with Dempsey was a little bit more mat-based, very technical, like just really catch can style. A bit like Zack Sabre Jr. And it was good. Really good. I was really impressed. So the only thing is, though, I don't know I just can't see him on the main roster. Like, I'm watching him, and he's a great wrestler, and he's got, as you said, that catch can style, but that style, it doesn't really translate to the main roster. You look at Timothy Thatcher, and you always wondered how would he do on the main roster, and we got our answer. He would be released. So I don't know. I do worry for the future of like he is a proper throwback, he would be in the NWA. He would be in the NWA. He would be like one of those kind of shooter wrestlers that would be, battling Harley Race. Like, I could see him being one of those kind of guys, battling the Funks. Seeing him going up against flipping, Seth frickin' Rollins in his wacky attires and wacky, like, it's just a different world, isn't it? WWE, the main roster of Raw and SmackDown, it's just a different world to that kind of throwback, proper professional wrestling style. So I don't know what the future's going to hold for him. Do people not understand that Brock was UFC champ? How can you compare Brock? Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Do you think WWE could plan to have MVP turn on Lashley at the Rumble, cost him the match, and align himself with Cedric and Shelton and reveal he ordered the attack on Raw? I could see a babyface Bobby. Can I see that happening? I can't see it happening. Could it happen? I can't see really a reason why they couldn't do it. I don't know. I like Bobby and MVP as a partnership. It's kind of like a Wish version of Brock and Paul Heyman, but I like them as a duo. I think you could still have a face Bobby with MVP. I don't think MVP necessarily is going to... MVP is there to just big up his guy. Whatever his guy's doing, he's going to big him up and say is the best thing. So whether he's a face, whether he's a heel, whether he's taking on heels, MVP will say to a heel that Bobby Lashley is the greatest in the world. The same that he'll say to a face that Bobby Lashley is the greatest in the world. And to be fair, MVP doesn't really get involved that much. MVP's not really one of them managers that's using his cane when the referee's not watching or, getting involved that way. So I kind of feel like you could keep them together. And it'll be fine. I do like the partnership, but if you wanted to split them up and go that way, I can't see a reason why you couldn't. Shola said, I'm still surprised that Brock went to UFC in the first place. A lot of people would have quit after that first loss to Frank Mir. Brock is a special man. Daniel said Sean Ross Sapp has put a tweet out a couple of minutes ago with an update to a story about MLW and WWE in October. MLW are now suing WWE as of a few minutes ago. Let's have a look at this, shall we? They're suing WWE. Though I did hear about them potentially being in a partnership. Let's have a look. MLW filed a lawsuit against WWE. The federal court antitrust lawsuit is based on WWE's ongoing attempts to undermine competition in and monopolize the professional wrestling market by interfering with MLW's contracts and business prospects. As described in the complaint, WWE pressured third parties to abandon contracts and prospective relationships with MLW. This is interesting. So WWE put pressure on people to not do business with MLW. Why? Why do they care? WWE's misconduct included disrupting every level of MLW's business, including a major streaming deal for MLW, which would have been transformative for the company. MLW also alleged in the complaint that in early 2021, after MLW announced that it was in talks with Vice to air MLW programs on Vice, a then WWE executive warned Vice that WWE owner Vince was peed that Vice was airing MLW programs and that Vice should stop working with MLW. Vice TV executive responded that WWE's conduct was illegal and violation, with WWE responding that she could not control McMahon. I tell you what, I don't understand. What say does Vince have over Vice? I don't understand that. So I don't get that. It's not as if, like, I could understand if, like, USA Network wanted to show MLW and Vince going, hang on, we're on your network. You can't have us and them. Like, we are your wrestling promotion. Like, you can't have them as well. I could understand that being a conversation. But what the flip do WWE have on Vice? The only thing I know that's wrestling on Vice is Dark Side of the Ring, and to my knowledge, WWE have got nothing to do with that apart from appearing on each episode. So imagine that. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. WWE just ring up going, Vince is annoyed. So? I'm sorry, who are you? We don't have any of your programming on our network. Who are you? Good. I'm glad he's annoyed. He sounds like a douche. I don't get it. I just don't understand. WWE has been wrongfully depriving its competitors of critical opportunities for many years, but its latest conduct has been even more conceivable. Don't know what that word is. Said MLW CEO Court Bauer. I think we speak for the rest of the professional wrestling world when we say that this anti-competitive behaviour has to stop. WWE's ongoing misconduct has hurt fans of professional wrestling and competition in the professional wrestling industry. Though this lawsuit, MLW seeks to recover its losses due to WWE's interference and to enjoin WWE from future interference. The case is captioned MLW versus WWE. There we go. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting because I don't understand how. I really don't understand how they have managed to do that. Pick up a phone to Vice and say Vince is peed off that you're having MLW. So don't make any sense. Days, that is clickbait. MLW was going to work with Peacock. That is. What do you mean? What do you mean by clickbait? Because, I mean, Sean Ross Sapp is saying it. I think he's quite a reliable source. If it was, I don't know, Wrestling News Now or something like that had it, then I'd be like, yeah, they're just, there's a chance it's been made up. But this has come from an actual, I don't know where this statement has come from, but what I've read there is like an actual statement that's like been typed out by someone. And as I said, that's actually from Sean Ross Sapp. Hang on. There. Oh, well, it's on there anyway. Days. WWE opening up a forbidden door with Impact. I believe that door is going to remain open in the near future. WWE and other wrestling promotions, obviously, besides AEW, says Tolik. Well, we don't know that door is open, to be honest. I mean, yes, they've gone to Impact and said, can we have Mickie James? And Impact have gone, all right. So for the Royal Rumble, and then WrestleVotes have said potentially there could be something for the men's side, but I mean, I don't see this leading to Impact stars coming onto like Raw or SmackDown, or WWE stars going onto Impact. Like there's very little benefit to WWE for doing that. Like there's not what benefit does it serve? They would have to educate the WWE fans as to who the Impact superstars were. So, you might get some fresh talent, but, no disrespect to someone like Jordynne Grace, who I've got a lot of time for and I really do like. I really like Jordynne Grace, but, I mean, she's never been in, like, AEW. I think she might have been at All Out, in all fairness, the very first show, the one before AEW started. To my knowledge, she's never been in AEW since it actually began, but I think she was at All Out. But she's never been in AEW, never been in WWE. She's on Impact, which gets, less viewers than NXT does. So, you bring her out on Raw, that gets like 1.8 million, or, SmackDown that gets 2.3. There's going to be a flipping lot of people that haven't got a clue who Jordynne Grace is. So, if you work with, clearly they ain't working with MLW, if that's true. So they ain't going to be working with MLW anytime soon. I don't see much benefit in working with Impact. Maybe you could do something with New Japan, but I think they've got a very complicated relationship with New Japan. They worked with New Japan back in the day, and that relationship went very sour. So I think they've got a very complicated relationship with them. To the point where I don't think there is much of a relationship. Hence why we're seeing New Japan work with AEW, and we've not seen them work with WWE for a long, 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 long time. So, I don't know. For me, I don't really see any forbidden doors being broken down or opened, because I just don't think Vince ever cares. And Vince has got all the wrestlers he needs. He really doesn't need, even with all those releases, he doesn't need anything else. Can I get a shout out? Chris, shout out to you. Chris Gibson. Daniel said, Sean Ross Sapp just tweeted that Odyssey Jones had a match before NXT and it was stopped due to him being injured and he was helped to the back. Shola said, will she get a pop? Because I don't know who she is. Will there be an announcement when she comes out? Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, yeah. Again, no disrespect to them. There's some great talent down there, and I really do like Jordynne Grace, and she should go to WWE if the opportunity arises. Because, I mean, if nothing else, she'll just get a great pay check. I just imagine she'll get good pay. She'll get good exposure. It'll be a nice little boost to her brand. And even if it doesn't work out and it's only for 6 months or a year or whatever, she should be able to walk back into Impact or go to AEW, or there's places that she would be able to go afterwards. So I would like to see her actually go there, but she would probably have to go into NXT and probably have to get built up that way. So, yeah, it's one of those. There's, I think, a lot of people that are like hardcore wrestling fans that watch a lot of different styles of wrestling, a lot of different promotions. I think they're getting very excited. But the casuals, I think, you would have to, and it's no disrespect saying casuals, because in a way I'm a casual. I'm a hardcore WWE fan, because I watch like pretty much all their shows. And I don't know that I'm a hardcore AEW fan, because I don't watch Dark, I don't watch Elevation, I don't watch Being the Elite, but I do watch like Dynamite and Rampage. So I suppose in a way I'm a casual pro wrestling fan, but a hardcore WWE fan. Even if there'd be people coming in that I wouldn't know. If you're going to bring in like loads of Impact talent, there'd be people I wouldn't know. So it's one of them, isn't it? There's There's only two big companies, really, that I would say, and that's AEW, who get like $1 million. Dynamite got $1 million. And WWE, two big companies in North America. And they ain't working with AEW. So... Wrestle with Andy said, it's like the Rumble 95 when loads of random people showed up, like Dick Murdoch. Yes. That was a weird Rumble, wasn't it? The 95 one. That's a blast from the past. Hope you're well, Wrestle with Andy. Chalmers says, Jordan strikes me as the type of person that just cares about wrestling, not to stay and get released like Taya Valkyrie. Yeah, she does. I mean, she works really hard on her physique, of course, and I think she's just... I don't think she's hurting for money at all. Do you know what I mean? I think she's got a really good contract with Impact. I should imagine she's got quite a few revenue streams. I should imagine, good merch sales. And I don't know if she's got, not an OnlyFans, but, I mean, I've seen that she puts out lots of pictures on Twitter and everything. And, who knows? I mean, she's got an amazing physique, an amazing body. Who knows if she's got, a little OnlyFans thing? I genuinely don't know. But I should imagine she's got a few revenue streams, and I'd imagine she does all right. Defcon Prime Eric Dirigi said, new title design soon to get away from the Triple H legacy. James Chadwick said, I'm a casual wrestling fan because I just watch 15 wrestling shows a week. Casual. You're such a casual, James Chadwick. Unbelievable. 15 wrestling. Do you know what? A lot of people will see that as James exaggerating. I genuinely believe him. I genuinely believe he watches 15 different wrestling shows a week. Tolik said, I definitely believe Triple H should open up his own promotion with Shawn and everyone that gets let go in the original NXT. That would be amazing. Daniel said, WWE has called back Mickey countless times over the years for a special appearance like a Rumble. For me, they're doing it again, but they need Impact's approval, and it's simple as that. Charlotte says, you are a hardcore casual. That'll do. I'm a hardcore casual. Chris said, Days, what do you think of Alexa Bliss's interview on Raw? Look, everyone knows I'm not a fan of, the supernatural stuff because the style of wrestling I like is... I like to see it as a proper sport. I like it to be seen as two people competing to be the best. This is why I don't mind Brock, because to me, Brock, as we said, if there was going to be a real fight, I think he would be there or thereabouts. So this is why I don't have an issue with Brock. And I like stats, I like rankings, I like weight divisions, I love all this stuff. So to me, seeing her move away from the supernatural thing is good. Seeing her potentially move away from this gimmick, which was her kind of acting like a child. I know there was a darker side, but the darker side was making people throw up black goo and making playgrounds appear in the ring and stuff like that, and talking to a doll. It's just not for me. Maybe it was aimed at kids. I don't know, but it wasn't for me. I would much prefer to get the goddess back. So I thought that her little thing was maybe the start of that. So there wasn't really anything that offended me. She was just kind of freaking out, and I'm just hoping that we continue to see maybe the therapy sessions having an effect. And, hopefully we get to the point where when she returns, she comes back maybe as the goddess or something different. So I was all right with it. I didn't love it. There was a bit that really made me laugh. She got that glass and she got the water. She started pouring it in and it just started overflowing. I think she said something how does this make you feel? She was like, how does this make you feel? And the guy, the therapist, turned around and he was like, not brilliant, not great. Not great. I'm going to be honest, not great. And I don't know why that really made me laugh. I think it's because, she was being really terrifying. How does this make you feel? Yeah, not brilliant. I'm going to be honest, not great. Not great. And it's not that he didn't no-sell it, but it was more just the fact that... I just loved the straight answer that he gave her, and it really made me laugh. So I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. And as I said, if it's going to lead to her maybe going back to being the goddess, then sign me up, Buttercup. Sign me up. We're also being signed up to the start of NXT, and we're being signed up to a brand new NXT champion, Bron Breakker, Rex Steiner, and they're showing those side plates being changed. And we're seeing him celebrate. No shots of him with his dad. Like, they really, for whatever reason, don't want, like, his dad being a part of this story. Obviously, it was all on social media, his dad getting in the ring after and Tommaso going over and seeing him. But, yeah, nothing shown on the actual show. Please welcome the new NXT champion, Bron Breakker. Here comes Bron Breakker. He's acting a bit more... He's acting a little more serious in recent weeks. And last week, his ring attire was not as colourful. Like, they're just little changes that I really like about him. Like, I kind of like the fact they've toned down his ring attire. I like the fact he's acting a bit more serious. He is dangerously floating towards Mojo Rawley territory. We've said this before. Like, if he like acts a bit comedic or acts a bit hyped, then he comes across like the lost hype bro. If he actually plays it like straight, solid, mean, moody, I think he's bang on the money. And this guy's going to be he's got all the potential in the world. He could go on to main event WrestleMania, be the next kind of Roman Reigns. Here's Bron. Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa, I just want to say thank you. Tommaso is an outstanding human being. Most people didn't see it, but when the match was over, he stood up, grabbed my neck, and said, "Congratulations, kid. It's your time." And he got out of the ring. And he went right over here to the front row and paid respects to my father, who was here watching me live for the first time. Oh, nice, nice. So Bron mentions that his dad was there. I'm ready for this. Well, he said, I know I've got big shoes to fill. Yeah, who's going to answer the call? It's got to be someone that he can beat. I like that. Anytime you want to watch film, I've already watched it. When you're going home, I'm staying. I did wonder if someone was going to come out. I thought someone was going to come out, and I was like, "Oh, whoever does come out, they're going to. It's going to have to be someone that Bron can beat, because I expect him to be champion for 6 months, maybe even 12 months." And Santos Escobar's coming out, but I think he's coming out for his match. Bron is like a new Goldberg, but with skills. He's definitely the face of NXT now, says Shola. Seeing Bron and Santos Escobar. I mean, that would be all right if them two feuded. That would be winnable for Bron. Right, very quick. I mean, we're only 6 minutes in. I mean, I thought he might take a little bit longer than that. So a very quick promo. Escobar. XY. Zion. Quinn. I don't know where Elektra Lopez is. She's meant to be at ringside. She must be getting her own entrance, I'm guessing. Here's Austin's favorite. I wouldn't mind Santos versus Bron Breakker, says Austin. LA Knight against Bron Breakker. That's a really good shout, Boomers, because obviously LA Knight's got really great experience. And again, very winnable. That's a good shout. That's good booking, that is. It's maybe a feud that people wouldn't be like excited by, but it's the right feud because, you know, it would really test his promo skills going up against LA Knight. LA Knight's going to be able to, you know, put him through his paces in the ring, but also protect him, make sure that the matches look good. Yeah, I think for a new champion, finding his feet, like, you know, in the spotlight, someone like LA Knight, I think would be really good. Roderick Strong as well would be great. Roderick Strong would be ideal. Another very LA Knight-esque person. Maybe not as good with the promos, but that kind of person that can really, you know, protect you in the ring, make sure that you know, have a good match, and can really help elevate you. So, yeah, any of them. Santos is going to win this match, says all kinds of stuff. LA Knight needs to get called up already. Bron has to introduce a new title. There is a lot of talk that a new title is on the way, actually. I have seen talk of that a new belt's on the way. I don't mind a new belt. I mean, I love redesigns of belts. I love belts. So any opportunity to get a new one or see a new one, I'm all right with. Snake Eyes by XY Zion Quinn. I like his tattoos on his arm. I don't like his tattoo on his back. It's too small. The tattoo on his back is just at the top. It kind of feels like he needs a full back piece. The tattoo is just here. He definitely needs a full back piece. Can you order someone to get a full back piece tattoo? If he had a full back tattoo, he would look amazing. Goddamn, pal. Do it for your career. Good throw by XY Zion Quinn. Days, do you think LA Knight is better than Eli Drake? I never really watched Eli Drake, to be honest. I mean, so I can't really compare. What I know is that since he changed into LA Knight, you know, he's been okay. I can only really judge him as LA Knight when LA Knight. I can only really judge him as Eli Drake when he was in NWA, and I thought he was pretty good there. But even then, he didn't blow my mind. Like LA Knight hasn't blown my mind. But then when I was watching Eli Drake in NWA, he wasn't blowing my mind. So, and I never watched him in Impact. So probably about the same. But I should imagine more people have got affection for Eli Drake. What did the left eye say to the right eye? Between us, something smells, says Coach Co. Coach Co, hello. Days Royal Rumble is going to be epic. It's good, isn't it? I'm really excited for it. I'm always excited for the Rumbles, but I think this year, can't tell who's winning. I mean, the only thing I can say is I think that, for me, I think Liv is favourite for the women's now. So I think Liv is favourite for the women's. For the men's, it's really hard to say because the rumour is that it's going to be Brock Roman. So it's really hard to see how they fit in a Rumble winner unless it's going to be Brock or Roman. This is why, like, I suppose it's hard to predict now because as we get closer, it could be revealed that, like, we probably won't know till the actual day, will we? I mean, we know that Brock's taking on Bobby. We know that Roman is taking on Seth. So, plus also, there is no Elimination Chamber. I was just about to say, what happens to the winner of Elimination Chamber? But there isn't an Elimination Chamber, or certainly not one that's been announced yet. So, there's nothing for March. There's rumours of the Saudi show in February, but nothing for March yet. No Elimination Chamber, so we might not have to worry about that. But again, what's the Rumble winner going to do? Unless they lose, like, to one of the champions in the build-up and lose. Like, imagine the Rumble winner doesn't actually main event WrestleMania because they lose the honor in a match before. Like, let's say in March it's Fastlane, right? Not Elimination Chamber. And the main event is Brock versus Big E. Big E wins the Rumble. But it's Brock versus Big E. And maybe they do it there. Perhaps what they do is they have the Rumble winner not main event WrestleMania. They main event the March or the February pay-per-view. Maybe they, like, tweak it. Maybe the Rumble winner wins, points at the WrestleMania sign. But Brock, like, convinces them to kind of, you know, have their match before. Like, why wait for WrestleMania? Why not go into WrestleMania as the champion? Yeah, rather than the challenger? Like, why don't we do the match before? If I win, you don't main event WrestleMania. And I go on to face Roman. If you win, you get the championship. Let's do it in Saudi Arabia. I wonder if they'll put that swerve in. I wonder if they'll do something like that. Because I can't figure out how they're going to do it. 'Cause I don't want a triple threat. I don't want Roman versus Brock versus the Rumble winner. I don't want that. That sucks. Or could you do it because it's 2 nights where you do the Rumble winner versus, say, Brock, and then night 2 is the winner against Roman? Do you do that? You could do that. Could do that. Moldy said, no, the whole point of the Rumble is to main event WrestleMania. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I wouldn't want that to be what happens. But I'm just trying to think, like, how do you get out of it? How do you not allow the Rumble winner to main event WrestleMania? Like, how would you book it? That would be one way of booking it. Like Brock saying that, like, you know, you could go in as champion, so let's do it at Saudi. Why wait? But I agree. I think that's part of the prize, isn't it? Not only do you get the title opportunity, but you're main eventing WrestleMania. But yeah, I suppose you could main event night 1, and then the winner goes on to night 2. Good luck getting Brock to fight twice, though. Good luck. If Roman versus Brock at Mania both still have the titles, does it render the Rumble useless? Well, potentially it does. Potentially, but I wouldn't. We've got so... First of all, it's just a rumor. We obviously don't know that's what's going to happen, so that's one thing. The other thing as well is they could do Rumble winner versus Brock or Roman, and then the winner goes on to face Brock or Roman on night 2. So, you know, you could still have the Rumble winner main event WrestleMania, and you could still have Brock versus Roman. There is a way of doing both because it's 2 nights. But then, you know, as he said, you know, that rumor might not be true anyway. Plus, there's so many twists and turns and whatnot. I wouldn't worry about it. It's certainly not going to ruin my enjoyment of the Royal Rumble. I'm just going to watch the Rumble and, you know, see who wins and celebrate if I'm happy and have a little cry if I'm not. And then we'll see where it leads. It's a good little match, this, by the way. I know that I'm not really talking about it too much, but it's quite hard hitting. And it's not a bad little contest. XY Zion Quinn sort of spearing into Santos Escobar, hurling Santos Escobar across the ring, charging over, another spear, collides into Santos Escobar. He's got him up on his shoulders, dumps him down, gets dumped over the top by Santos. I think the Rumble winner, main event Saturday against Lashley. Sunday will be Roman versus Lesnar. Why didn't the quarter roll down the hill with the nickel? Because it had more sense. Days, are you watching WrestleMania live or stream? Well, I mean, we'll be doing the watch along for it. Oh, big strike there by Zion. Elektra Lopez is coming over. I don't like this. I don't like this bit. Oh, just as Zion turns around, she kicks him from behind. Zion Quinn goes down. Yeah. I mean, I didn't like it. He fell for it. Driver by Santos. And Zion Quinn loses. Gotta say, man, it does make Zion Quinn look like an idiot. He loses the match because he believed Elektra Lopez, who's been a part of Legado del Fantasma for a little while now. Like, I don't know. Not a bad little match, in all fairness. Not a bad little match. Just a shame it wasn't like just, you know, a contest. They had a match and someone wins. But I love Santos. I'm cool with this, says Austin. Zion Quinn giving me Nathan Jones vibes. Some of his work can be sloppy. Remember the huge build he got in his WrestleMania match with Taker? That was one of the worst gimmicks. Yeah. There was some sloppy stuff there. In all fairness, we haven't seen him too many times. This feels very early in his development. Like Zion Quinn, I don't remember him being someone that was around on the Black and Gold. So, yeah, it is still quite early days for him. But there were some moments there. There were some moments in that match I thought it was all right. But, yeah, some sloppy moments as well. Here's Tony. Like I would get slimmed. Hello, William. Hope you are well. Days, but shouldn't the Women's Rumble winner main event one night too? Well, it should, but I don't think you're going to get too many people arguing if night one is main evented by the men and night two turns out to be Brock Roman. I mean, Brock against Roman is going to, you know, overshadow anything and everything, isn't it? I mean, even if WrestleMania was only one night, Brock Roman would be the main event. And both of the Rumble winners would have to settle for elsewhere on the card. Yeah, you know what WrestleMania is like. They claim about 50 matches of the main event, don't they? 20 main events. So, you know, they'll still claim that the Rumble winners are main eventing, even if they're not closing the show. But yes, I do think that normally you should have the women's Rumble winner be the main event, say night one. Or night two, depending on what's the better story. And the other one being the main event of the other night. But yeah, Brock Roman's going to supersede everything. If it happens. We are seeing footage from Raw AJ being attacked by Grayson Waller. That is coming up tonight. Days, I'm looking at the odds, and Goldberg's odds are 26-1. It might be a good shout. I think I'll stay away from that one, to be honest. I think I can quite comfortably stay away from putting money down on Goldberg winning the Rumble. Imagine that, man. Imagine that. Imagine Goldberg wins the 2022 Royal Rumble. Flip. Where is Braun Strowman? He was in Ring of Honor. He appeared at their final show, and was he at Impact? I think, did he come out at Impact? I don't know. I know that there was some Ring of Honor people that came out at Impact. I know, right, and never got the whole main event for WrestleMania. It's always John Cena back in the day. Days, Southampton beat Brentford 4-1. I did see that, yeah, crazy. That Brozier is doing very well for Southampton. He's very cheap as well, so he might be worth a little look. Because he's someone that, you know, again, super cheap, can sit on your bench, give you money to spend elsewhere. But we can have a look at that maybe tomorrow. We've got a Carabao Cup game tomorrow. So I think actually now on the Football Days channel, we've got a game tomorrow, a game on Thursday, game on Friday, game on Saturdays, of course, games on Sunday. So I think we've got games for the next 5 days. Days, I want Liv Morgan to win the Women's Rumble. I think she stands a great chance. I think for me, she's favourite now. I did put that on Twitter, and there was, you know, a chunk of people agreeing, a chunk of people saying they think Bayley, some people saying they think Bianca. So it seems like people are still split, but I think for me, I've got Liv as being favourite at the moment. I think Dominic should main event WrestleMania. I think Dominic should go back to nursery. Nafiz, appreciate the support, dude. Does Korean Zombie beat Volkanovski? I don't think so. I think Volk is... I mean, look, Volk has gone toe-to-toe with Max Holloway. And, I mean, look, he's been awarded the victory twice. Don't know that he has won twice, but they have been very close. Either way, they've been so close that he has been given the victories. I don't think Korean Zombie is that level, to be honest. I think, you know, Holloway, Volkanovski are clear of the rest of the division in my mind. But it would still be a great fight, though. Bianca Belair could win the Rumble. Number 2, she could. Yeah, she could. Yeah, I'm not against Bianca winning a second Rumble 2 years in a row. I haven't got a problem with that. No woman has won 2 Rumbles yet. I'm also not down on Asuka winning it or Bayley. Like, there's quite a few that I would like to win it, but if I had to put money down on someone, I'd be putting my money on Liv. The men's one, I think, is much harder to call. Much harder to call. I can't quite get a read of the men's one. I mean, realistically, who's going to be beating Brock? Who's going to be beating Roman? I don't know that there's anyone necessarily out there. But Seth was meant to be winning at day one, so I could see Seth losing to Roman and entering the Rumble. Could he win the Rumble? It's so hard because, like, WrestleMania, as we said, the rumor is it's going to be Roman versus Brock. So it makes it really hard to book because how do you fit the Rumble winner in? How do you fit them in? It's really difficult. It's not adding up at the moment. It's not quite adding up. There's ways out of it, as we've discussed. There's certainly things you can do. But right now, there's no kind of clear way forward. But I really like that. I really like that. I'm not complaining about that at all. I love sitting here not being able to work it out. Like, how boring. How boring if we were like, right, Roman wins that, Seth wins the Rumble, Roman, Seth at WrestleMania. That's the report. We know that Seth's going to win. Done. Like, how boring that would be. I'm really pleased that we don't quite know yet. Just makes it all really exciting. Right, we're seeing a photo shoot of Mandy Rose. With the NXT Women's Championship. Me and Sunny as flies. Days. Bobby beats Brock, puts himself in the Rumble, and wins it. That would be a way forward. Yeah, that would be a way forward. Bobby beats Brock. Brock wins the Rumble, and then we get Brock Roman. Keep watching. Keep staring. I know you will. Kind of have to, because you're just dominating the flipping screen time. Right. Here's Damon Kemp. He looks like Gable Steveson. He really looks like Gable Steveson. Right, it's Damon Kemp taking on Cameron Grimes to the moon. Who is this Bron wannabe? It's Bobby Steveson. Is it? Is his brother? Is it really his brother? I didn't know. But do you know what? It is true. His brother is in NXT. Guys, that's why it looks like Gable Steveson. It's his brother. Okay, well, this is interesting. I didn't know. I didn't know they were calling him Damon Kemp. Why don't they call him Steveson? Why don't they do that? They've got Gable Stevenson's brother, but they're not calling him Steveson. The flip? People are chanting to the moon. They should be chanting Steveson. Nice roll through. Kick out. Lovely hip toss by Cameron Grimes. Lovely hip toss. Here's Bivens. Bivens got to be looking. Oh, imagine Kemp. I have to call him that. Damon Kemp going into Diamond Mine. Yes, that would be amazing. Kick coming in by Cameron Grimes. And again. Against the ropes goes Kemp. Kemp grabs Grimes into the corner. Going up top. Gets caught. Belly to belly. That's lovely. Yeah, I tell you. Bivens likes what he's seeing here. Malcolm Bivens. Damon Kemp didn't win a freaking gold medal at the Olympics. Yeah, but still. Wouldn't, if he is his brother? Wouldn't you still keep the Steveson name and, like, give him that little rub? That he's the brother of Gable Steveson. He's the brother of someone that won a gold medal. He looks just like him as well. It's just weird that they've got these two brothers and they're called a completely different name. And a rubbish name as well. Damon Kemp. Damon Kemp. Grimes charging over. Stomps down on Damon Kemp. And Cameron Grimes wins. Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do with Damon Kemp. I've got a fit. I mean, I don't think I've seen him before, so it'll be very interesting to see what they do with him. Where he goes from here. I mean, with Bivens watching on. Cameron Grimes is coming for the gold. 2020 to the moon. Bivens has gone. Bivens has seen enough. Here's Joe Gacy and Haaland. They're going to be in the Dusty Cup, aren't they? Yeah. That starts soon. Haaland against Bron Breakker will be fun one day. I mean, I do understand why Vince is so obsessed with bigger guys, because you do look at, like, Bron Breakker and Stevenson's brother and Haaland, and you do think, like, wow, imagine when these all hit the main roster. Imagine when these start coming up. Like, it's going to be amazing. Because it's going to look amazing. Like, the matches might not be amazing, but it's going to look amazing. Legend Killer, hello. Shout out to you. Hope you are well. Days, AC Milan is interested in signing Eric Bailly. They can have him. They want me to drive him over. Give me a shout. I'm free. It's not a problem. I'll drive to Milan. Quite fancy it, actually. Have a little look around. Haaland is a rubbish name. It is a rubbish name. Gacy is very creepy, says Robin. Joe Gacy is even worse. Haaland looks like Neo. 2022 is awesome. Dave's thoughts on Bella's being in the Rumble. Don't mind it. I think, wasn't it Wrestle with Andy said that he counted up that there's 20 women across the two rosters, like Raw and SmackDown. That means that we need 10 women. We need 10 legends. So, you know, they've gone and got Michelle McCool. They've gone and got Lita. Get in, like, it doesn't make sense to get, like, one Bella, does it? You might as well get both. So, yeah, get in both the Bellas. And plus, you know, the Bellas, they were in Total Divas. They were in Total Bellas. Like, they've got fans. They might not be us, but they've got like fans out there. I mean, I don't know if people are going to be tuning in because the Bellas are in the Rumble anymore, but there was people that was tuning into their reality shows. So they definitely do have a fan base. So I don't mind it. I don't expect them to win. I do like the idea of them challenging for the tag titles, though. I don't mind that. I think it puts a bit of star power on WrestleMania. I know there'll be people saying, like, oh, it should be the roster that's there year in, year out, you know, all year round, that challenge and get those spots. I do understand that. But I would also just say it's the women's tag titles. Like, honestly, who cares? Like, the alternative is that might not even make it on the show anyway. Like, the alternative is that it might just be on the kickoff show or not make it at WrestleMania. So if the alternative is we're not going to have those belts defended at WrestleMania, or we do the current champs against the Bellas, I don't mind that. I don't mind the Bellas. I'm not crazy about the Bellas by any means, but I definitely think they do help make a show feel a little bit bigger because you don't see them all the time. And as I said, there'll be some fans out there of them. And they're Hall of Famers, says Matt. That's true. Paige's pop will be disgustingly loud, says Minty. Why does Vince love little Dominic so much? He's only £155. I don't think he does. Do you know what I think Vince does like? Rey and Rey's popularity. And I think Vince is fully aware that Rey Mysterio would be amazing in AEW. Rey Mysterio in AEW. Could you imagine Rey Mysterio with the Lucha Brothers? And Rey Mysterio giving advice to Luchasaurus and Sammy Guevara. And just imagine Rey Mysterio in AEW. So I don't think Vince likes Dominic. I don't think Vince cares about Dominic. But I do think Vince wants to make sure that he can keep Rey Mysterio happy. And I think this is how he's doing it. What do you mean, Days? Bella fan meeting meets every Thursday. This week's topic. Welcome, Days. We are addicts. You part of that Bella fan club, are you, William? What about if NXT did Bron Breakker versus Braun Strowman for the NXT title? Well, Braun's not in WWE, is he? He's in Ring of Honor. So, like, I don't know why we would be doing that. Like, NXT is developmental. It's a way for them to build up stars that can then go to the main roster. That's kind of very much how they want to treat NXT now. So doing Bron Breakker against Braun doesn't really fit that MO. I suppose you could argue that doing Grayson Waller against AJ Styles doesn't really fit that MO. Like, why is AJ Styles in NXT? But I think it's to try and help get Grayson Waller over, because AJ is like a main roster star. Would Braun help get someone over? I suppose he might do, in all fairness. He might do. Even though he's not on the main roster anymore, he used to be. People know who he is. So I suppose you could make that argument. But I don't see him doing it. Right, we're about 40 minutes in, so we're about a third of the way through the show. I can't remember what these guys are called. Blade and someone. Shock the world. Shock the world. Right, Gacy and Harlands versus Blade and I can't remember his name. It's like an African name, isn't it? Enofi. I'll go with that. I think it's something like that. Do you think Ray would threaten quitting if they didn't use his son? Yeah. Yeah, I think Ray's focus is on like helping Dominic establish himself. So I think that he has said that he's interested in like helping to get Dominic over, and that's his focus right now. And I think that was like a big stipulation, a big way of him staying. I definitely think that Dominic just doesn't fit Vince's like MO. He's not muscular. He hasn't got the airport effect. Like, if you see Dominic, you don't go, wow, who's that guy? He looks so out of place. His matches are so-so. His promo is so-so. Like, there is nothing about Dominic that screams main roster. Nothing. I mean, he can do some stuff in the ring. It's not as if he's like completely useless. It's not as if they've got someone off the street. Like, he's clearly been shown some stuff by Ray, but Dominic's not got the same impact that, say, Hooker's got. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember Dominic. People were like quite impressed with Dominic's match against Seth at SummerSlam in 2020, and but then everything since then has been just downhill. Everything since then is just, it's been just getting worse and worse. It's been getting stale. I think his ring attire looks trash. I hate to say I don't like his tattoos that he's got. I cannot believe that he's just not hit a gym. I mean, how can you be on TV as often as what he is and not go to a gym and like build yourself up? And I mean, if I was on TV like he is, and I'm like being seen around the world, and I'm looking at like everyone else that's like, jacked, I mean, that is like priority number one for me. And certainly when you know that Vince puts so much stock in look, like that would be my top priority. I don't get it. I don't understand. So anyway, I think definitely there was, that's a factor for Ray to stay in WWE. Gacy going over. This team looking a little bit lost for a split second there. Harlan just standing on the outside, staring, waiting to get tagged in. Days, I'm back. It's Brock Lesnar losing his title against Bobby Lashley, says King Savage. What do you mean? Days, who have you got winning each Rumble? Men's, I think, is really hard to call. Women's, I'm leaning towards Liv Morgan. Days, serious question. Do you regret doing the Total Divas watch-alongs? No, not at all. No, not at all. They were not shows that I wanted. I can't remember how we did them, actually. I can't remember how we did them, but I can't remember if we did one and then people wanted the next one and whatever. But there was a few that we watched that were like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, it was full-on drama. And, kind of got into some of the characters, some of the little storylines. What I will say about Total Divas is it's an easy watch. It's an easy watch. You can easily watch it, follow what's going on, and some of it you don't care about, of course. A lot of it you don't care about, but some of like the heartfelt fake drama, oh my God, I think we're going to break up kind of rubbish. Like, it's rubbish. But there's some like funny moments. There's some it's quite interesting seeing behind the scenes as well. You actually get to see inside FCW, which I thought was really interesting. There's a few shots where you get to see them training in FCW, which I've never seen before. And you get to see like behind the scenes at WrestleMania when the matches get called off. I think Harlan gets DQ'd, by the way. Harlan got tagged in, and I think the ref told him to stop. He didn't stop, and I think the ref calls the match as a result. So that's what happens with this match. So, no, I don't regret doing them, but I don't really have an interest to do more. I kind of feel like I've got it. I know what it's about. We did the whole Series 1. We had some fun with it. And I'm just guessing that Series 2, Series 3, it's just going to be more of the same, innit? Did you hear that Cross, in his debut match against Jeff on the main roster, he laughed when the ref came up to him and informed him that his 10-minute match is now a 90-second match? I didn't hear that, no. I heard that he laughed when he got shown his costume. Here's Imperium. Oh, is he on the show? No, he was on the show last week, wasn't he? Honor. To us, the ring is sacred. Okay. I mean, it's a little bit rich. Talking about the Americans being a little bit out of shape and a bit big when the leader of the group is Volta, who I love, but is, do you know what I mean? Not on the slender side, is he? I don't think he's skipped too many meals, Volta. He's looking quite jacked, though, in all fairness. Just seeing him here. We are not like you. To us, the mat is sacred. I love Imperium. They are so cool. They are so cool. They're right up my street. I love, as I keep saying, to me, wrestling, two people battling to see who's the best, like a sport, and then you've got a group that are saying to them the mat is sacred. It's like, that's right up my street, that is. And then just so happens their leader is like one of the best flipping wrestlers in all of WWE. Yeah, love for Imperium. Seb said, Days, do you think NXT will ever get too boring for you to watch to the point where you stop watching? I don't know if it's ever going to get too boring. I think what might happen before that is because I'm desperately trying to make videos on the channel, like doing like bits of research and creating graphics and, you know, looking into stuff when I'm not streaming. So, you know, if I'm not streaming and I'm not setting up streams and I'm not, actually streaming, as we said, I'm trying to like do stuff so that I can get some videos out, because this year I want to be getting some videos out. And my problem might actually be that, you know, if I was to drop a stream, then I think NXT would probably be the first to go. Not because I don't enjoy it or I'm bored by it, but just because I think this is the stream that like the least amount of people seem to engage with and interact with. You know, I think looking at like the regular kind of amount of people that join us, this is always the quietest stream that we do. So yeah, I mean, like, if I was to stop, then, you know, it'd be for that reason. It wouldn't be because I got bored. Because, you know, things can go on runs and they can be a bit boring, but then they can easily turn around. You know, I mean, look at Raw. Raw, I think, had some horrible months last year, but I think actually Raw's in quite a good place at the moment. Like, I quite enjoyed yesterday's show. So I think Raw, certainly as we build into the Rumble, build into WrestleMania, I think is in an all right, a really good place, actually. Best place it's been in for quite a while. But it's had some really bad months. And NXT can be exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? Can go through some really bad patches and then we'll go on a little run. So, no, that doesn't bother me. I'm not too bothered by that. Moldy said, yes, the cross match was originally 10 minutes with Jeff, but during the commercials, the ref told him it was down to 90 seconds. If you go back, you can watch and see him smirk when coming back from the commercial. Nafiz says AEW or WWE. Well, I mean, if I had to pick, I'd pick WWE because I've grown up with WWE. You know, I've all my memories like Bruno and WrestleMania and all of that. It's all with WWE. So if I had to choose and there was gun to my head, it wouldn't be a difficult decision. But AEW put on really good programming. Like Dynamite is in a really good place. And you've got like CM Punk doing some good stuff, MJF. You know, you've got Bryan Danielson. I really like Serena Deeb, Britt Baker. Like, you can really go down a list of people that I think are doing really great stuff in AEW. So, individually, Dynamite might be the best wrestling show at the moment. You know, you could put it up against Raw, put it up against SmackDown, put it up against NXT. Bell to bell, it might be the most consistent, best wrestling show at the moment. Might be. I don't know that there's loads in it. I'm not one of these people that's like, WWE are trash, AEW is amazing. Like, I've seen some really bad AEWs. But AEW might be, right now, the most consistent show. But WWE as a whole gives you Raw, gives you SmackDown, gives you NXT. Like, it's a bit unfair in a way to compare to AEW to WWE, because WWE is so much bigger and it has so many more shows. Right, Tony in the ring. Tony versus Peter. This is the crowbar on a pole match. So, Tony in the ring. Dynamite is the best wrestling show, in my opinion, says Moldy Spoon. Tony Montana is Italian job. Daniel said, would you be afraid of Volta's booking on the main roster with Vince in charge? Yep. I don't know that he would get Volta. I don't know that he would get it. I mean, you would just have to say Vince, you know Brock. Yeah, you know Brock. You remember Brock. Brock Lesnar. Former UFC heavyweight champion. Multiple-time WWE Universal Champion. Main evented WrestleMania load. You know Brock. Brock. Do that. That concludes my presentation. Like, that is it. That is it. Just got the one slide for you, Vince. Jane, put it on. Treat him like Brock. That's my presentation for what we should do with Volta. Treat him like Brock. Just like that. Thank you. That concludes my TED talk. So yeah, I would. I don't want to see him like doing stupid, comedy segments and stuff like this. Although, in all fairness, Brock has been doing a little bit. I mean, he's, since he turned face, he's been bringing out his personality a little bit more. And we did see him like backstage doing some funny stuff with Kurt Angle. But even so, it's always hit the mark, hasn't it? Like, his joke went down really well. The not joke. People love that. And do you remember when he won Money in the Bank and he put the sound system in it? And we got Brock Party. That was amazing as well. So whenever he has done comedy, it's always been all right. So again, just like Brock, if you're gonna make Volta do comedy, then just like Brock, please make sure it's funny. Right, we are underway with Pete Dunne and Tony. If we can get Dunne back to how he was in NXT UK, then that would be super. Dunne trying to get that crowbar. First person to get it can use it. Reminds me of one of the very first matches I ever saw, which was Survivor Series 92, Big Boss Man Nails. I speak about it all the time. And it's I couldn't believe a police officer was fighting a prisoner. And that was a nightstick on a pole match. The first person to get the nightstick could use it. Lovely throw by Tony. Are you streaming West Ham Norwich tomorrow? I think it's on TV. I don't believe it is. Fantasy Premier League actually show you what's on TV in the UK, and that one wasn't showing. It might have changed, but it wasn't showing as being on TV. And it still isn't showing as being on TV. So, no, I don't think it is. I think we are doing the Carabao Cup tomorrow. And I think that's on TV. It better be. I think we're going to commercial break. Brock Lesnar is a pure Viking. Zoom Station said, I wouldn't mind a third big wrestling operation. Sadly, Volta won't get the Brock treatment. Vince will make Volta chase for the 24/7 title after 3 weeks of trying to book him properly because he doesn't see anything in him. I know, might flip him, put him in that leftover gladiator costume that he tried to force Karrion Kross to wear. I know. There's more chance of it going wrong than going right. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see it. It'd be great to see him on the main roster. And, some of the matches he could have. He could just really start running through people. And I'd love to see people, like, his music hit and people showing, like, fear and being scared. Like, imagine Sammy, like, doing something in the ring, beating up on someone. And the music hits. And, like, I just imagine Sami Zayn's facial expression as he realizes that Volta is on his way. Like, and that match would be amazing. Sami Zayn against Volta. Oh, my God. What a match that would be. Sami has got a great ability of getting, like, great matches out of people. The match he has with Nakamura is still one of the best matches in NXT history. It is still Nakamura's best match, and it was his first one. So him against Volta. Volta AJ, Volta Seth, Volta Roman, Volta Brock. I mean, obviously, you don't want to be putting him against people he's going to lose. You want to put him against people he's going to get wins against. And good wins, and Sammy would probably be top of my pick there. Because I think, that would be a great match. Great feud, potentially, with Volta coming out on top. Miz wouldn't be bad. Miz, great talker. Miz also would give you a great facial expression when Volta's music hit. That would be a winnable feud for Volta as well. Could be a lot of fun, that. Days, what was your thoughts on Brock saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brock Lesnar"? I thought it was funny. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, he said he loved that. Do you think Vince would try and cover Volta up with a singlet like he's done with Keith Lee? Well, I was just looking at Volta there, and actually, I could see abs appearing on Volta, believe it or not. Like, just watching him there, like, he's actually been away for a while. And I'm thinking that he's actually done a bit of work in the gym. Because that video package they just showed of him, they were talking about how people are slobs these days and how people wouldn't understand how the ring is sacred and all this kind of stuff. So I kind of think that them doing that, I was like, wow, it's a bit risky, what with Volta being a bigger guy. But then they showed them, like, standing there, and Volta actually, he had a bit of muscle. You could see some abs. I think he's actually been doing some work in the gym, so I don't think there would be a need, if he continues that, to cover him up as much as maybe there was to cover up Keith Lee. No, those were fat abs, a.k.a. flabs, says Corvid. Can you see WWE without Randy? Yeah, of course. I've seen a WWE without Randy. I grew up with WWE without Randy. I don't think WWE is going to fall apart when Randy Orton retires. So, yeah, I think definitely. We are sneaking our way towards halfway. We're almost there, actually. So we are getting closer. Primo said, do you think WWE announced a lot of surprises in hopes that Paige gets the biggest pop and Thunder isn't taken away? I don't know that Paige is in that, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if there's been any reports confirming that she's going to be. I know she's been sending out a few tweets that have been a little bit cryptic, saying, January and all this, but I just don't see it. I mean, like, she had, like, a bad neck injury, and, I mean, I know Edge came back, so I suppose you can't never say never, but, I don't know. It would be a massive surprise, let's put it that way. I'm not expecting Paige. So if Paige is in the Rumble, it'll be a big surprise. Unless it gets ruined and someone's reporting it that she's been cleared. But for me, she's not someone I'm expecting. But do I think they've announced them so that someone gets a big pop? Yeah, I mean, I think they will have a surprise. So I think the fact they've announced these means that it's not going to be them, clearly. But there will be a surprise. They know that the surprise is important in the Rumble. Tony gets the crowbar. So Tony has got the crowbar. He goes to hit Pete Dunne with it. And again, he goes to hit Pete Dunne. He gets the crowbar caught. Pete Dunne's now got the crowbar, so Tony wasted that opportunity. It's a little bit weird, this match, isn't it? It's a bit weird seeing a crowbar being used, and it can be used legally. Plants Pete Dunne on the edge of the ring. I mean, they want to win a match. They don't want to kill each other. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit weird. Like, a kendo stick is one thing. It's got a little bit of give to it. A crowbar. Flipping killer man with a crowbar. He goes to hit Pete Dunne's hand with that crowbar. This is just a lot of trying to hit someone with a crowbar and just consistently failing. Pete Dunne, double knees on Tony's arm. Pete Dunne in the ring, slides back out again. Gets Tony back into the ring. Pete Dunne, I think, is he grabbing the crowbar? He grabs the crowbar. And he puts it in across Tony's face. Dave, do you remember the nightstick on a pole match? I do. James, I do. Back in the corner. Tony with a swinging net breaker. Pete Dunne is still holding that crowbar. 1, 2. And kick out. The MLW lawsuit is the reason why Impact is in the Royal, says Vape Ross Vape. Days, what were your thoughts on Cena making Nikki Bella sign a contract to live in his house and by his rules? Well, I don't know if that was true or if it was just for the show, to be honest. I don't know. I certainly wouldn't be believing everything that you saw on Total Divas. At all. Wasn't there a quote? Didn't someone say that like 90% of what happened on Total Divas was just a load of rubbish, a load of scripted, made-up rubbish? So I wouldn't believe everything you saw. It's being reported that Jay White is returning on January 21st. Could he be possible for the Rumble? Yeah, he could. He could be possible. I don't know. It's a difficult one because, like, I don't know how many people have watched New Japan. So, you know, if you get Switchblade Jay White in the Rumble, it's going to be one for the hardcore wrestling fans, but it won't mean anything to the casuals. So, I must admit, with all this talk of the Forbidden Door, I don't know. I don't know if they're talking Impact or New Japan. I don't think they're talking AEW. I think they're talking Impact or New Japan personally. So Switchblade could absolutely be that person. Tony grabs a chair, but I think it'll probably be someone that's ex-WWE, like Mickie James, but just a male version, like a Braun. It's a long match, this, isn't it? It's a long match. Anyone else think this is a long match? Pete Dunne, it's got the fingers of Tony. Firing in a few elbows to the side of the head. Do you think WWE mentioned that big surprise in the male Rumble is going to be days due to the open border policy in the USA now? I think so. We all think so. Imagine days for the pop. Listen, I'll be the first to say that, you know, people might not know Moose. They might not know Switchblade Jay White. I would quite confidently say 100% of people at the Royal Rumble wouldn't have a flipping clue who I am. If you want to hear the least pop, the lowest pop in the world, then book it. Book it, Vince. Book it. You won't have heard silence like it in your life. I don't know if it'd be silence or just all-out boos. Like, even I would be booing as I was walking out. Because I'd be like, I have completely taken a spot away from someone way more deserving. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this could have been a legend. It could have been someone on the main roster. It could have been someone from NXT. So even I would have been booing myself as I'm walking down. Chanting, I suck. So, yeah, the match is over. Tony wins. Nice little strike, actually, with that crowbar. Did the crowbar break? That's a question. Did the crowbar break? Did he use a fake crowbar? I mean, it does make sense. He did hit him quite hard. He hit him kind of here. Yeah, I mean, that looks like a fake crowbar. It was Naya. She answered the other day on Instagram that it was 98% scripted. Ah, right, okay. I remember seeing somewhere that it was like 90-odd% scripted. Vape Ross Vape said, thoughts on the MLW antitrust lawsuit versus WWE. We spoke about it earlier. It's a weird one. I don't understand why WWE phoned up Vice and said to Vice, like, Vince is upset that you're having MLW on your channel. Because what programming, what relationship has Vice got with WWE? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. If it was Fox, if it was USA, then I could understand. If it was like A&E, even, maybe I could understand. But I don't understand. Right, we're going to be seeing Wendy Cho. I don't think we've seen her yet, have we? She's the sleepy girl. Indi Persia. This could be interesting. So, yeah, I don't get it. I mean, is Vice part of the USA Network family? Is it part of the Fox family? How I don't get it. Do they call up every channel that shows wrestling around the world? Going, excuse me, are you showing Johnny John's wrestling Showtime hour? Vince is very angry. Very angry, yeah? No, we don't have any programming on your channel, but I just need you to know that Vince is very angry that you're showing Johnny John's wrestling Showtime hour. It's weird to me. So I'm here to watch it play out. That's what I'm going to do. Days, do you support PSG? No. Not at all. Halftime, get in your scores. Get in your halftime scores. Do you support Messi? I'm not really bothered by Messi, to be honest. I don't support PSG because I think that they've gone and got a load of players for free, and I'm not sold on PSG at all. Like, they've gone and got, like, Messi for free. They went and got Donnarumma for free. They got Ramos for free. I think they got Ander Herrera from United for free. They got Wijnaldum for free. Like, they've just got all these players for free. It just seems a bit dirty. It's not... Like, if they'd gone out and bought them with money, then at least the clubs they bought them from would be, do you know what I mean, like, benefiting. But this is dirtier now. To actually go out and get a load of players for free, like, players have wound down their contracts and, you know, they've all just seemingly gone to PSG. Just seems a bit dirty, seems a bit sus. Don't like it. So no, I'm not a PSG fan. 6.5, 6.5, lots of sixes. Days, you know, in football, when you have a transfer, like someone abroad to the Premier League, like Werner to Chelsea, everyone knows him. Why is it different in wrestling? People wouldn't know Jay White. No, I mean, like, Timo Werner, they would know because of potentially the Champions League and, you know, the fact that there's clubs play other clubs on friendlies in the Champions League, in the Europa League, like, and also internationally as well. So, like, Timo Werner would be on people's radars because he goes and plays for Germany. So, you know, you watch Germany in qualifiers. They might play England in a friendly. They could play them in a tournament. Like, you know, these players. And also, people are looking at players that are coming through because they want to know, potentially, could they come to my team? And also, you know, Timo Werner was ripping it up in the Bundesliga. I think he scored, like, I don't know how many goals in the season. It was something crazy. It's like, I think he was one of their top scorers for a few seasons in the Bundesliga. So, of course, all the big clubs that need strikers all of a sudden, being linked to Timo Werner. So you would jump on and you would have a look at the clips of Timo Werner, and you'd be like, yeah, I think my club needs that. Like, wow, he's a great finisher. So it's very different. Comparing football to wrestling is very, very different. Like, there's no tournaments that like all the promotions are involved in. There's no transfers, and it's completely different. So that's why people would have been aware of someone like Timo Werner and not as aware of Switchblade Jay White. There's no reason for anyone to have to watch New Japan. No reason for anyone to be tuning into New Japan. And actually, I don't know how many people do tune into New Japan. Lots of sixes, few sevens, but I would say more people are in the sixes. Here is Toxic Attraction. Cannot stand this group. I just can't stand them. The only thing I will say is that they can wrestle. I mean, Priscilla Kelly, Gigi Dolin can wrestle. Jacey Jayne seems okay. I don't know much about her. Out of all three of them, she's the one I know the least. Mandy Rose has never been amazing in ring. They don't feel like a threat. I think that's the problem. I don't buy them as a threat. I wish I bought them as a threat. I don't believe them to be a threat. Right, this could be interesting. It's crazy to think that was Mei Ying, wasn't it? It's crazy to think that was the scary old woman. I don't know why I always thought she was old. She just came across as being old. But this is a hell of a change for her. Okay, and they're taking on who? Amari Miller. Don't know her. I might have seen her before. Who? And Kacy and Hayden. I know these. Kacy and Kayden. They've been repackaged as like fun time party girls, haven't they? Look, coming through the crowd. Dancing away, and there wasn't much dancing there, was there? They just kind of came over to that Amari girl, gave her a fist bump. She's like dancing away like this, and they just sort of walked off. This Amari Miller is like giving it a bit of a go. Even Indi's getting into it as well. I feel sorry for Indi. I really do. I thought she was doing some really great stuff in the way, and like they've all gone. Austin's gone. Johnny's gone, Candice is gone, and now she's just, she's with Persia Pirotta, and it's just ain't the same, is it? That woman is going to do my head in. I feel like that woman is maybe NXT's answer to Orange Cassidy. She's just that Wendy Chu is just like asleep on the edge of the ring. She's literally laying down. She's got a pillar on the bottom rope. She's all like... I can see it being memed. I can see that getting over with Twitter. Maybe when she gets tagged in, she's going to be amazing. Amari Miller was probably that person in that one segment last week. Indi Hartwell is boring now. There's no more way. I feel sorry for her. She's now asleep on the top rope. Well, she's at least trying to lie down on that top rope. Why would you ever choose to have her as your tag partner? Why would you ever want her around? Yeah, I agree. Wade Barrett's like, she's not pulling her weight, is she? Over in the corner, drop kick, and Persia goes down. One. Just a 1 count. Indi goes down. Okay, Wendy Chu just having a drink. Here we go. Tag. In she comes. Okay, so Wendy Chu in there. Kick to the midsection with her... They're actually making a wrestle with furry bunny slippers. Belly to belly. Cartwheel over. Yeah, so they're having her be, like, sleepy on the outside. And then when she tags in, amazing. Doing cartwheels, belly to bellies, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be their answer to Orange Cassidy. Where he's got his, like, doesn't seem to care. And then has, like, you know, an amazing match. These wrestlers can't... Even these wrestlers can't stay awake during this show. Kick out by Chu. Tags in Persia. Naviz, shout out to you. Did you know, Days, that Miro sustained a bad hamstring injury in the Sammy Guevara match and was recovering from it till he replaced Moxley to face Orange Cassidy, and then Brian, he is... Oh, my God. No, I don't know. It's too long for me to follow. Right, Indi Hartwell, Chu, and Persia Pirotta have won. That Chu gimmick is interesting. I mean... Could you get something out? Could it work? I feel like you can meme it. And I feel like people will get into it. But I feel like it could be very frustrating as well. I'll see. We'll see. We're seeing MSK with the Dusty Cup. Dusty Rhodes Classic trophy. Edward said, what are your thoughts on Villa getting Coutinho? It's good. Yeah, very good. We won this. Dakota looking at the trophy. What? Okay, here's Solo Sikoa. You want to fight? That's a language I can understand. I mean, what I will say about NXT 2.0 is, you know, we are getting a lot of backstage things. We are getting a lot of vignettes. It very much does feel like they are trying to present it more as being like a mini Raw. Definitely, it comes across that way. It does have a different vibe to it. That is the worst trophy I have ever seen. Austin said, Uso chants. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Cup, says Hayden. I think the goal with Wendy Chu is for memes and clicks. I agree. I mean, I do think as well that she might get over with people. I think people will like the fact that she's, like, not bothered. Sleeping on the outside. I think it's relatable, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I think it's very relatable. We all like to have a good sleep. Like, sleeping is cool. So, if you can do more sleeping, that's cool. So, I think people will, like, relate with it. And it's got universal appeal. Because everyone likes sleeping. And then when she gets in the ring, she's like a killer. I think that it could... It runs the risk of becoming, like, too silly. Like, where it crosses a line. Like, it's silly anyway. But I'm a bit torn on it. I'm a little bit torn on it. I kind of, like... Seeing her, like, lying down on the edge of the ring, like, being asleep and not being ready to be tagged in. Like, that's putting her team at a disadvantage. So I don't know, like it's a bit tricky. If she's gonna, once the bell, I don't mind her being sleepy in vignettes, being sleepy backstage and all that kind of stuff. And I certainly don't need her like bouncing around the edge of the ring waiting to come in. I don't mind if she's just kind of like slumped over, just wait, like a hand out like that, and she's just like, I don't mind her doing that. But I don't think I'd be having her like literally lay on the edge of the ring like with a pillow and, you know. Like, maybe that's a little too far. I think as long as, like, when the bell sounds and the match is underway, she's kind of in the match, if you will. I don't know. We'll have a look. I'm not completely down on it. I do just worry that it could go the wrong way. But I agree. I think it'll have. I think it's for memes and clicks, isn't it? Days, FSG have told Liverpool to sign Saka at any cost. Thoughts? Don't FSG own Liverpool? So aren't they... who are they telling? Are they telling themselves? what, like memo to self? That's like saying the Glazers have told Man United to sign Saka. I don't get it. What do you mean? Who have they told? Memo to self. Sign Saka. How does she lay on the hardest part of the ring? It's a good point. She ain't going to get to sleep there, is she? She ain't going to get to sleep there. That's why she was able to tag in, because she tried to have a little nap, but you can't sleep on the hardest part of the ring. It's got no give. She should know that by now. What a silly Billy. Excellent point, Unbroken 1010. Tahil said, I honestly hate NXT now. I'm just watching for you, Days. I'm sorry to hear that, bud. I understand. It's certainly not to everyone's taste. Why is she always smashing everything with her flipping baseball bat? Kaylee Ray's destroying lights, a camera. Just because Mandy's not there. Okay. Well, someone's got anger issues. I'm pretty sure you've only got to ask. I've watched enough wrestling to know that if you just get in the ring and call out the champion, there's a good chance you're going to get a title match. Like, that's all you've got to do. I don't think you need to destroy the backstage area. Boa versus Solo Sikoa. Boa versus Sikoa. Well, damn. Everyone's getting a gimmick change now that Bruce is in charge of NXT. Kaylee Ray is the only good moment of this lame show. They think WWE is in a tricky situation. What is their end goal? Is it to have Bianca get her moment and Liv get the shaft? Or vice versa? Well, I think Bianca's had her moment. She will have other moments, but I don't think it's high on the priority list for Bianca to have a moment again, like, anytime soon. I would put Bianca in a feud with someone. And I feel like it's probably Liv's time. I mean, like, a lot of people wanted Liv to win Money in the Bank last year. And I can remember saying, she hasn't done anything. We need to wait. And she didn't win Money in the Bank. Then we got to Queen's Crown. And I remember saying, I would have her win Queen's Crown. And then she didn't. And then all of a sudden, you know, Becky was back and she was then getting a title opportunity. She did well in that match at day one, but she fell short. And now we're at the Royal Rumble, and I'm all right with her winning the Rumble. And we'll have to see how it goes. But I think that they've gone about it the right way. Like, I can't really criticize what they've done with Liv. I suppose the only thing I would say is they should have had her in some feuds before the Becky feud. I think, like, not really having any feuds and then going straight into that Becky feud, I think that was a bit too quick. They needed to maybe build it up a little bit more. And, you know, before, rather than just going, here's a championship feud. Like, it really feels like that. It's like, random match, random match, random match, random match. Here's a championship feud. So, like, I could maybe criticize that. But I feel like, you know, we've waited. She definitely could have won big opportunities thing in the past. She didn't. And she's got a following. She's got a fan base. So, yeah, I kind of feel like it's her time now. Or, what I should say is it's the start of her time. Like, if she doesn't win the Rumble, it's not a problem. She might end up winning Money in the Bank. If she doesn't win Money in the Bank, it's not a problem. She might win Queen's Crown if they do it again next year. Like, I feel like she's in the mix now. Before, when, like, people were saying Liv should win such and such, you would go, why? Why should she? What has she done to deserve it? Well, at least now she's had a few matches with Becky, and one of them I thought was actually good. It was the best Liv Morgan match I've seen. So I am now starting to get to the point where, I can see why she belongs in the conversation. That's what it is, isn't it? She's maybe not the person that outright deserves it. There's no other option. But I'm willing for her to be in the conversation now. And as you said, you know, Bianca had a great year last year. She's all right sitting on the back burner for a little bit. Right, these two are feuded on the outside, and this match has ended already. So they've gone off into the backstage area. Here's AJ. I forgot we had AJ tonight. AJ Styles. Solo Sikoa, the Usos' younger brother and Roman Reigns' cousin. It's WWE's priority to get Bianca payback on Becky after SummerSlam. I think that's their story. I don't know, because she had matches against Becky and she fell short. Like, she had a match at Crown Jewel, which was a triple threat, and she didn't get the job done. Like, I know it's difficult because Sasha was in that match as well, but it was an opportunity, and she didn't take it. And she did have one-on-one matches with Becky. I think Becky might have cheated, but I sort of feel like, well, it seems to have, for me, it's moved on. You know, Bianca was in a little thing with Doudrop, little feud with Doudrop. Becky moved on to a feud with Liv Morgan. Like, yes, we can come back to it, and certainly Becky attacked Bianca, suggesting that there's still going to be something there. So, I don't know. I mean, if we're going to get Liv winning the Rumble and we get Liv versus Becky at WrestleMania, My guess would be that Becky defends the title against Bianca first. I think that Becky probably retains because you're going to want Liv as a face going up against Becky as a heel. So I could see it going that way. I think whatever happens, Liv, Bianca, Becky is what we're looking at on the road to WrestleMania. How we're going to do it, I'm not sure. Like, could Bianca win the Rumble? Becky faces Liv at Saudi Arabia? Sure. Or could Liv win the Rumble and Becky faces Bianca at Saudi? Sure. So, I don't know which way it'll go, but my gut is telling me Liv Morgan wins the Rumble. That's where I am at the moment. And I'm feeling more confident about the women's than I am the men's. But, as people have said, maybe Brock loses to Bobby and then Brock enters the Rumble. Brock wins the Rumble and then we end up with Brock Roman, which is, what the rumor is. That way that we do get the Rumble winner against Roman. Right, we've got Carmelo Hayes arriving with Trick Williams. We've got 27 minutes to go. Becky beats Bianca again. That would be awful booking. Again, though, it could be where she gets screwed and screwed out of it. And again, you're just dangling that carrot in front of Bianca. So, yeah. I think it would go that way. You couldn't, or you just hold off a little bit and do Becky Bianca after WrestleMania, and you could have Bianca win. But unfortunately, the title is no longer involved. It could be that this feud is turned personal and it's not about the championship anymore. So you could tell that story. But I wouldn't mind Becky beating Bianca. At Saudi Arabia. I don't mind that because I think that people want to see them go one-on-one. I think it's got a big match feel to it. And I think that if Becky can find a way of cheating Bianca again, it just builds up the heat on Becky as you build towards WrestleMania. Keeps their feud going. It means you can revisit it after WrestleMania. I actually think that serves a few purposes. So I don't think it's bad booking. I don't think that would be bad. Certainly not if your focus is getting the belt onto Liv anyway. I just got a gut feeling WWE wants Bianca at the top whilst Liv isn't their priority. Could be. The reason WWE is going after Vice is because months ago, MLW was trying to strike up a primetime TV deal with them, but WWE told Vice to block the deal because they are part of Fox. So Vice are part of Fox. Is that what it is? Because that makes a bit more sense now. Because I had no idea why they were going after Vice. But if they're but it still feels quite loose though, doesn't it? That still feels quite loose. Because it's still not Fox. I mean, I suppose it's under the Fox umbrella. And it's definitely something I could believe Vince doing. Putting pressure on another network that's under the Fox umbrella to not carry another wrestling promotion. I can understand that. I mean, I can understand WWE. I can understand WWE expressing their uncomfort, if you will, about the situation. I can understand that. I mean, does it break monopoly laws? I don't know. That's for the courts to decide, isn't it? That's for the courts to decide. But if you had a wrestling promotion on a network and another part of that same network, was bringing in a different wrestling show, you'd probably be a bit miffed. I could understand it. But I don't know monopoly laws. I don't know, if MLW have got a case or not. I just don't know that law. So it'd be very interesting. WWE absolutely could have done something wrong. I totally believe that. Not a single fiber in my body doubts that WWE have done many millions of things wrong pretty much every day. So they absolutely could have done something wrong there. But equally, I can also understand them expressing their dissatisfaction with that. I'd imagine if TNT or an affiliate of TNT were to bring in another wrestling company, like, you know, I could understand Tony Khan behind the scenes getting in touch saying that he was disappointed that they were doing that. I can understand that. We're still seeing some fighting behind the scenes at the moment. So we're seeing Solo Sikoa and Boa going at it. It's an interesting show. This show feels different. We're seeing a lot more kind of behind the scenes. And fire. Oh, is that stupid? That's some stupid Boa moment. I was just thinking, like, Boa's not done anything stupid. Because he's been talking about how he can't control the powers. And, of course, did he have face paint before? It's so stupid. Why do the commentators... There's nothing the commentators can say, is there? The commentators are in such a bad position there. Because what can the commentators say? They just have to look confused. All they can do is look confused. And all they can do is just be like, what was that? How did he do that? Oh. Days, it's going to be a big upset if Seth Rollins becomes Universal Champion. What are your thoughts? Yes, it will be a big upset. We're not going to have long for this AJ match, are we? We've got 20 minutes left, unless there's going to be an overrun. Here's Carmelo and Mr. Bout It. Boa with the face paint. He didn't have that face paint before. God, I hate that then. I mean, it's just Boa is supernatural. He just is a supernatural character. There's absolutely no way of like spinning it or anything. I certainly don't believe he got thrown over the top of that trunk and he quickly reached into his pocket and went. Oh, quick! I need some of the black. Oh my God, my eye! I've poked myself in the eye. God, I've got a mirror. Right, quick! Where's the fire thing? Like, I just don't think there's enough time to do all that. Maybe what he's got is like a fake face, right? So when he was wrestling, he had his fake face, and then when he went behind the thing, pulled it off, and then he had like the face paint like underneath. How about that? I've explained it, guys. I've explained it. He's not supernatural. He just wears a really realistic fake face. That's what it is. It was me all along. Wrestler with Andy said, do you think AJ will have another run with the title before he retires? Yeah, I think so. I think that he's... I think he's... I don't know when he's retiring. So it's I suppose hard to say without knowing that. But if he's around for another couple of years... Yeah, I think he's just done a favour for Vince, what with trying to help, you know, Amos. I don't think it's worked, but He's tried to show Amos some stuff and, teach him how to operate in a ring and get his timing right, give him tips. I should imagine just traveling with him as well, doing house shows together. I mean, literally, that is Amos sitting under the learning tree, isn't it? So, I wouldn't be surprised if Vince kind of gives him a bit of a thank you by giving him a little summer, a little push. Don't know if that results in a title run, but I'd imagine he'll have a pretty decent 2022. I think he is held in high regard. And also, he feels quite fresh as a solo star now, because he was in that tag team for a little while. What is the main event? Main event's going to be AJ against Grayson Waller. That's all it is, and that's all it ever gonna be. That's a good promo, in all fairness. I mean, if I'm talking about something else and it makes me stop and listen, it's good promo. He says that this championship is all it is, and it's all it's ever gonna be. This is all it is. I don't know why you did the... And this is all it ever gonna be. They don't want none. I'd be down for seeing Carmelo Hayes against AJ. And all it is. And this is all it ever gonna be. Yeah. Yeah, keep walking. Keep walking, AJ. Ignore them. They're just bullies. I don't want none. AJ Styles. J Styles. AJ versus Melo, says Robin. Have you heard Burnley's Chris Wood could be... I did hear. I heard he's having apparently 20 million. 20 million on Chris Wood. What? I mean, I know he has got double digits in the past few seasons, but this year he scored 3 goals. Like... What? I don't understand. Well, I do understand. They haven't got a striker. So they've been forced into spending 20 million and, getting the release clause sorted. So, it's craziness. I don't know how many Newcastle fans, when they got taken over, thought, my God, let's just get to January so we can get Chris Wood. Let's just get to January. Oh, God, please, just get to January. And then we can sign Chris Wood from Burnley. Oh, my God. We'll sign Kieran Trippier, amazing signing, and then we'll get Chris Wood from Burnley. Come on! It's wild, isn't it? Al said, MLW was signing a deal with Tubi streaming service owned by Fox and Vice, owned by Disney A&E, which has got an agreement with WWE for specials. That is the issue with WWE and MLW. I don't know if they've done anything wrong. I mean, I don't know how big of a story this is going to be. I mean, WWE have been sued quite a few times. So this certainly isn't the first. But, yeah, I mean, interesting, because there'd been rumours not long ago that there was actually a working relationship between MLW and WWE. I don't know if it was something that Triple H was trying to sort out. But when there was talk of Impact working with AEW, and that was all starting, there was also talk of maybe NXT working with MLW. I distinctly remember that. So it's very interesting that here we are, MLW now suing WWE. But again, I really can't say. I know that people would probably like me to say WWE are... not doing anything wrong. They're absolutely fine. They're allowed to express their concern. Or WWE have been horrific. They've done this wrong. How could they do that? They should know the monopoly laws or whatever it might be. I actually don't know if they've done anything wrong. I genuinely don't know. This will be a case that I'll be very interested to see how it plays out. See, what the end result is. It could be quite a decisive case as well, because if WWE are found not guilty of these charges, then, God, I should imagine Vince will get even worse. Do you know what I mean? Like, Vince apparently, this executive phoned up. I wonder if WWE could just turn around and go, don't know who that person was. That wasn't anyone from our office. Someone phoned up saying that Vince was peed at the agreement. WWE could go, don't know anything about it. Sucks to be you, doesn't it? Don't know anything about it. We've asked around the office and no one said they called anyone, so what do you want us to do? So it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. Very interesting to see how it plays out. It's probably going to take a long time as well. These kind of things ain't going to get sorted anytime soon. Is Cameron Grimes. I'm going to keep it straight. I want that championship. To the moon. So he said in 2021, I would have been out here doing donuts in this Bentley. But in 2022, I'm going to keep it straight with you. I'm coming for that championship. First round of the Dusty Tag Team Classic starts next week. Is this match still going? No, this match hasn't quite started yet because Grayson Waller hasn't come out. What are your thoughts on Man United close to signing Dennis Zakaria for $6 million? Haven't heard anything, to be honest. That has not been on my radar. Where's he from? Let's have a look. Grayson Waller making his way out. Paul Scholes believes Man United is a mess. We all do. Can't see. What was the name? Zakaria. Zakaria. 3 reasons why Zakaria should join Man United. That was 10 hours ago. Man United ready to eye a $10 million a year contract. That was 11 hours ago. Man United are yet to bid for the Bundesliga midfielder, appreciated by Rangnick. There's a few things linking us. There's not loads. Plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach, but face stiff competition from Liverpool. Don't know anything about him, to be honest. Not anyone I've seen us being linked to in the build to the opening of the window. We'll have to have a look into him. Says here that they're strapped for cash. 25 million could do it. So if we get him for 6, that sounds like a bargain. I mean, we need midfield. I'm pleased he's a midfielder. So we need midfielders. And if Ralph likes him, fine. Do it. 6 million as well. Do it. I'm pretty sure we could have a whip around. Right, we are underway. AJ against Grayson Waller. And we've not got loads of time. But in all fairness, we don't need loads of time. But headlock here by Grayson Waller. What an opportunity this is. I mean, it's absolutely huge. Grayson Waller wrestling AJ Styles down in NXT. Okay, so we're seeing these two. Nice strike coming in by AJ. Forearm strike. Big chop coming in by AJ as well. Grayson Waller trying to sell it. Elbow to the back of the head by AJ. AJ grabbing Grayson, going over to the corner. Head first into the corner. AJ Styles chants. Kick coming into the back of the leg. Forearm strike by Grayson, driving AJ back. Backbreaker by AJ. Tell you what, the crowd are really into it. Very vocal. What are your thoughts on Steven Seagal and some of his films? He's got some great films. He's a great martial artist. He's completely off his rocker, though. He kept claiming that he had taught Anderson Silva how to do some stuff, and Anderson Silva had to come out and go, we're just friends. We're literally just friends. But Steven Seagal was going around going, I taught him how to do that. I don't know. I think he loves the limelight, Steven Seagal. I think he struggles to kind of sit in the background. But, yeah, I mean, he's had some great films, and he is a great martial artist. AJ's losing streak is going to continue tonight. Dave, in real life, shout out to you. Days, there is an overrun. Yeah, I keep forgetting about the overrun. I don't know why there is an overrun, though. 2 hours is too long. We don't need any more time. Strike coming in by Grayson Waller. Drop kick by AJ. Waller goes out the ring. Okay, so AJ back up. I don't know if we get another commercial break or if this is all going to be commercial free. Waller grabbing the legs of AJ. AJ going face first onto the edge of the ring. Waller with a net breaker to AJ. Waller against the ropes, sliding underneath, clothesline. AJ goes down, Waller in control. And apparently picture-in-picture now. I don't have picture-in-picture, though. No picture-in-picture for me. I don't deserve it. I taught AJ how to be phenomenal. I think you'll find it was actually Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal taught AJ how to be phenomenal. What is your favorite Seagal film? Well, I remember Under Siege. But to be honest, I mean, I'm not a film person, am I? So I haven't really watched that many Steven Seagal films. There's a lot of Raw guys like Big E, Balor, Owens, and Styles with not much direction towards WrestleMania. They'll get it. What the great thing about the Royal Rumble is that it gives people direction. So, you know, there'll be some feuds that come out of it. We need a good opponent for Damian Priest, in all fairness. So someone will probably slip down and have a crack at that mid-card title. There might be like some really good feuds that have come out of the Rumble. You know, there could be some good stuff. The Rumble normally sets up a few things, not just who wins, but you normally get a few feuds coming out of it as well. I taught Randy Orton how to do the RKO, not Seagal, said LSW. Well, I think the S in LSW stands for Seagal, actually. So I think you might be Steven Seagal. That might be Steven Seagal's burner account. I see Balor and Theory at WrestleMania. Yeah, I could see that. That would be good. That would be good. They've got a little feud at the moment. It's going to be hard to see that continue all the way to WrestleMania, though, because we are in January. WrestleMania, is it end of March or April? One or the other. Either way, we've got to get through a few months. So, don't know. We could do it. The WrestleMania match would have to be like the end of that feud. And maybe it would be the Demon. That would make sense, actually. You could actually do Theory and Balor at maybe Saudi. And, you know, have like a few attacks and backstage brawls and whatever on Raw. But then, like, you know, Balor has enough and says, I'll see you at WrestleMania and I'll bring the Demon. I could see that. Days, I do feel worried that Finn Balor has gotten lost in the shuffle. Well, Austin, I saw, had a tweet that blew up, trended. Austin, our very own Austin 316, trending last night with his tweet, where he said, like, asking the same thing, where is Finn Balor? And I don't know where he is. I don't know if it's like a COVID thing or if it's like a holiday thing, like, or I don't know. But yeah, I can see him. I can see him being in a feud with Austin Theory. Austin said Theory should be winning that feud. What's your thoughts on Michael J. White? Michael J. White. What's Michael J. White? Michael J. White. Doesn't ring a bell. I mean, he's an actor who's been in films. I mean, I don't know how else to stress this. I don't really watch films. I'm not really a film person. So, I don't know. I don't know who he is. I'm just looking. Like, he was in the Mortal Kombat film, which I have seen. But I don't know if I've seen Mortal Kombat Legacy. Universal Soldier, Black Dynamite. There's films here I haven't seen. True Identity, Tyson, City of Industry, Spawn, Ringmaster, Breakfast of Champions, Freedom Song, Exit Wounds. I don't know these films. Well, I do know, I've heard of some of them. Why Did I Get Married? But I'm not as I said, I'm not a film person. This match is still going. We are back now from commercial break. I didn't have picture-in-picture, so we're only just back now. AJ jumping over the top and falling onto Grayson Waller, landing on Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller rolling outside the ring. AJ getting into the ring. Top rope, Grayson Waller coming in. Forearm strike. AJ goes down. Grayson Waller back in the corner. Grayson Waller on the middle rope. Elbow drop by Grayson Waller. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Days, you've not seen The Dark Knight. I've seen Dark Knight. But I mean, I don't know any of the actors in it. I do not, unless it's like flipping Tom Hanks, right? I'm not sitting there looking at like actors going, oh, that's such and that's such and such. Like, I honestly, I just don't know. I don't care. Looking for a calf crusher, and he gets it. So he's got the calf crusher applied. Grayson Waller trying to get over to the ropes. He's in a lot of discomfort. He's teasing that he's going to tap, but he grabs the ropes. And AJ releases. Is it bizarre how 3 months into the draft, WWE has already got Raw guys feuding with SmackDown? Not really, because we looked at the time and said, "Where's the main event stars for SmackDown?" I mean, if you sat down and actually looked at like how the rosters panned out, and you went, right, that person feels mid card, that person feels tag team, that person feels main event. You actually looked, and it was like, where's the main event stars on SmackDown? Like, who's Roman going to feud with? We said this the day after the draft, I think it was. So, yeah, I mean, it was a bit obvious, let's put it that way. But you just thought, well, they must have a plan. There must be a reason for this. And, it's going to be interesting because they're having to book Seth now. And, we're not even, as you said, 3 months in. So we've still got, like, we might be fine till WrestleMania. But then what are they going to do after WrestleMania? Are they going to have a little shuffle? Are they going to bring up some NXT stars, do you think? AJ rolling through, Grayson Waller rolling into the ring, getting a stunner and a 2 count, shoulder up. Shoulder up by AJ. I'll tell you what I haven't heard. This is awesome. I haven't heard of This Is Awesome chant. There's an NXT chant right now. I think this match is good, very good. It's absolutely fine. It's not a match that is blowing my mind. But the crowd are really into it, of course, because it's AJ Styles in NXT. AJ slipping in between the legs of Grayson Waller. Kick to the midsection. He's looking for Styles Clash. Nice Pele kick. Grayson Waller goes down. Styles. That's nice. That's nice. So he drives Waller down. He's going to go over to the corner. We've got to just be minutes away. AJ getting ready for a phenomenal forearm. Gets it as well. Waller down. And AJ wins. AJ wins. AJ with a phenomenal forearm. Beats Grayson Waller. Look at that, dude. He's got an old Enzo t-shirt on. He's got the old Cup of Haters t-shirt. They just cut to him, though, and he was like, yes! Yes! Ah, come on! He loved it. I thought it was a good match. It was a nice little contest, and it's a good showing for Grayson Waller. I remember Grayson Waller had a really good match against, I think it was Tommaso Ciampa, and he is good in the ring. Nice. AJ won. I thought it wouldn't happen, said Smurfy Tunes. Yes, AJ, that is why he's the best. You're good, but you're not phenomenal. I want to introduce you to one of my friends. Who's his friend? LA Knight. So AJ said you're good, but you're not phenomenal. I want to introduce you to one of my friends. So we've got AJ in there with LA Knight. pretty cool, isn't it? Is this going to spark TNA chants? TNA, TNA, TNA. Dixie Carter. Dixie Carter. Welcome back, LA Knight. I don't know how long you've been away for, but welcome back, mate. Okay, we've got AJ and LA Knight face-to-face in the ring. And they embrace. So there we go. Boom. LA Knight moving like the Rock. LA Knight is so underused. I love Impact, but geez, Dixie Carter sucked. TNA, TNA, TNA. Well, there we go. That was NXT. Did you hear Jeff Hardy being released caused a wrench in plans? He was meant to be Roman's next opponent. I heard he was meant to be that Shaman as well, and they ended up changing that. So I did hear there was a few things. Right, let's go get a poll up because we are done for this week's NXT. I didn't mind this week's NXT, you know. I didn't. The Boa thing. I mean, I just don't know if I could hate anything more. But I think I just know that is Boa's character, so. Fine. It is, well, not fine, but it is what it is. And the rest of the show, though, the Wendy Chu thing, I think, is quite interesting. I'm not, like, down on it, but I do worry that it could be something that could slip into, like, being really silly. Like, it's pretty silly anyway, but if done wrong, it could be really silly. But it could also be quite fun and a bit, you know, could work, could be memed and whatever, and people could get into it and it could get over. So I think that's quite intriguing. Watch that develop. Main event was good. The Pete Dunne match I wasn't really into. The crowbar thing, that just seemed to go on and on and on. Carmelo Hayes promo I thought was good. Good to see Gable Stevenson's brother as well. Don't like the name. Needs a better name. But Bivens watching him was interesting. Yeah, there was some all right stuff. Let's see what you lot think. What do you score NXT? What do you score NXT? 8 to 10. 7 to 7.5. 6 to 6.75. 5.75 or below. Right. We'll see what you lot are saying. We'll get a read of it and we'll jump on out of here. Don't forget we are back tomorrow with AEW. We're back tomorrow with AEW Dynamite. There is football over on Football Days as well. So if you are a fan of soccer, football, then we've got a game tomorrow, a game on Thursday, a game on Friday, game on Saturday, games on Sunday. We're pretty busy for the next 5 days over there. I also want to get your thoughts as well. I mean, I don't care what. It doesn't even have to be wrestling, by the way. It could be anything. If you have got a question that you want to ask, I think we're pretty good at answering questions anyway. But if there's a question you want to ask, then pop it in a video, put it in a little sound clip, email it over to wrestlingdays@gmail.com. Obviously, if it's anything going to be like X-rated and I'm a bit like, I don't think we can have fun with this, then I can't guarantee it'll make it onto the show. But yeah, you know, if it's something we can have fun with, if it's something that I think's interesting, I'm just looking for that. So next week's Wrestling Escape Pod, which is always the hour before NXT, could be fun, man. Could be the start. Could give us a good idea of like how many people are going to send in things. What are the questions going to be like? And I don't mind as well if it's like, I really like what NXT 2.0 is doing at the moment. I think this is good, that's good, but I'm down on this and I'm down on that. Like, it's an opportunity for you to get your points across. What do you guys think about blah, 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 blah? Like, so you can put your point in and what you want to say, and then if you want to just put a little question at the end, even if that question is, what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Or something like that, you know, to give us an opportunity to kind of throw a few things around. So, yeah, looking at that. So, video clips, audio clips, send them over to wrestlingdays@gmail.com. And that's every Tuesday, the hour before NXT. Lots of 6.5s, lots of 7s. You nearly sounded like Craig David then. I met James Chadwick on Monday, took him for a drink on Tuesday. We were making love on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we chilled on Sunday. I met James Chadwick on Monday, I took him for a drink on Tuesday. We were making love by Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday and Saturday, we chilled on Sunday. There we go, a little bit of Craig David. Right, 95 votes already. So as soon as we get to 100, we're going to shut this down. That's what we're going to do. TNA. Unbroken said, I'm going to send kitties to your Gmail. Amazing. That'll brighten things up over there. 8 out of 10, 6.5, 9.7. And here we go. There is 100 votes. We're going to shut this down. Boom. All right, let's see. Look at that. What is your NXT score? 6 to 675, 36%. 7 to 775, 33%. 8 to 10, 23%. 575 or below. Below. My voice is a bit gone, actually, and I don't know why. I haven't been shouting for anything. I don't know why my voice is... I don't know what I've been doing. I don't know. But 6 to 675. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's fair. I would probably go 675, actually. I didn't mind this show. I didn't mind it, but I don't know if there was anything that, like... That feels about fair. That feels about fair. So I think I'm probably with you guys, the 6 to 675, but I am definitely top end. There was enough. I was entertained all throughout. I wasn't bored. I was entertained all throughout the show, and enjoyed it. Edward said, what if I send in a video of me doing some shadow boxing and talking about my boxing career? Do it. Yep. Don't mind that at all. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we can discuss. I mean, the only thing I'm thinking is that you could send that in, and then we play it, and then afterwards we go, so that happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel like we need to have something to say. I don't know what I wouldn't know what to say. Well, he shadow boxed good, didn't he? I don't know. But this, look, I'm up for this because who knows what we get sent, you know, what questions we get sent and what theories and where the conversation goes. It doesn't have to just be wrestling because it is a wrestling podcast. Like, we will talk wrestling, but I mean, I think some of the best moments in the podcast have been when we've gone off-road and just gone wherever. And so, yeah, I'm down for whatever, honestly. The Almighty Supreme One said NXT was 10 out of 10 because LA Knight is a god. The Almighty Supreme One, shout out to you. Really appreciate the support. And I really appreciate the support of everyone that joined us this evening. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you have a great evening wherever you are. And as I said, I really appreciate you joining us. Be it if you joined us for the Wrestling Escape Pod before or just joined us for NXT, then yeah, really appreciated. And as we said, we're back tomorrow for AEW Dynamite. CM Punk taking on Wardlow, which I'm quite intrigued by. And I don't know the rest of the card. They have announced it, but I can't remember it. CM Punk Wardlow is the one that stood out to me. So, yeah, looking forward to that. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.